Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. Run away, I don't have to plan it. I can go, change my fate, you won't understand it. All alone, that's okay, people I can't stand them. They don't want me to change, keep me where I'm standing. And I don't wanna be where I am, and I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance, my last dance. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Hey, good morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are doing well this Thursday morning. I'm sorry I wasn't here Wednesday morning, but I was on Dazed 276. Big shout out to her. Thank you again for having me on your show last night. Lots of fun. Just a little bit about me and my path to here, right? So as many of you guys know, I am awake this morning. I didn't put anything on. We are going Bullhorn Betty all natural this morning. And there's a reason, because Mama Bullhorn is going to be cracking that whip on Bullhorn Betty later today. So lots of stuff. Got two major projects that I'd like to do, and that's reorganizing the office and reorganizing the ex's bedroom. That's, I haven't been in there in a year. I mean, I've walked through there to get to the laundry room, but it's time to defunct the house. It's just time to defunct the house. And nothing better than help defunct the house and handle, Bullhorn Betty like Mama Bullhorn. Mama Bullhorn rocks. Big shout out to Mama Bullhorn, which I am sure is not even awake right now. So at any rate, good morning, all. We are sliding into the weekend. Tomorrow is Friday. We are going to have girls' night out again Friday night at 7 o'clock. I may push it to 8, not sure. You'll just put your notifications on if you guys would like to participate in girls' night out. For those that are just joining and said, what in the world is girls' night out? It's not just for women, because we need our security, and our security typically are the men. So I want men in the house as well. And what it is this is where we get together. We do not talk about cases. We just have fun on a Friday evening. We talk about funny experiences, funny stories. Just literally, this is for all the people that aren't going out and partying on Friday nights, that are kind of homebodies like me, that just want something to do on a Friday night. So we created a party right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, just for people like us on Friday night. So we open up the phone lines. We have a great time. We've done this 2 previous times, and we just had just a blast. And so we want to cultivate that, create that, and keep that going, because everybody needs an outlet. This stuff gets too much, and we're going to go over something that's very sad about one of our own out here on the streets of YouTube. And we're going to discuss this more in depth. I'm going to show you where everything happened. I'm going to show you who is responsible. And it's not good, guys. It really is not good. And my heart is bleeding. My heart is breaking. I can't believe this is happening. And it just happened, just in Northport, my backyard. So we're going to discuss that here shortly. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, if many of you guys are new, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. I need each of you. We got 166 people in chat already. If you guys can go out and give me the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It is free to tell me thank you. So, and I want to thank all of you guys for being here. So Quinny, you're the first person in the chat this morning that said good morning. So good morning, Quinny. Your thing is, oh my gosh, Betty, how and where did Doug get attacked? We're going to discuss that. And it's not good. Like I said, it is very heartbreaking. Susie Sue, good morning. Carrie Farrell, good morning. Yes, it's pretty bad. Suzette Osgood, we'll get into that, but it's like I said, it's not really a very pleasant conversation. It is not very good at this moment, and we just want to give Doug Live's family and friends a big hug from the Bullhorn Betty channel. We want them to know that we're happy to help any way we can. And we're very sorry that you guys are going through all of this, but you do have an army behind you. We are here for you. We will do whatever it takes to help. And I want the family to know that from me personally. I will do whatever it takes. I mean, they're 45 minutes. The area is 45 minutes away from here. And, I'm happy to help any way I can, take out the dogs, cook some food, whatever the family needs, I'm happy to help. Yes, he has a pacemaker. His heart's not good. We're going to discuss this. He hasn't been on. So we're going to go over all that here shortly, and then we'll go over the details of the case and who is responsible. I knew he was in the hospital. His kids released a statement saying thank you for the prayers, and they could not say what was wrong with him or how. Yeah. Nothing on his channel. Nope. But we'll go through it all here in just a. Yeah, Florida sucks, nothing but crime. We have a large population here, and then when you have the law of large numbers, we have more increased crime based on the per capita because of even if we all had only 15% crime, when you have a larger state, that 15% crime is a lot more people. So it's just the sad part of it. So. It wasn't today, Kim Hunter. Doug's birthday was actually yesterday. So we're also going to go through that as well. So good morning, Kim Hunter, Karen, Radmilla, Emma. Good morning. Good morning. Life's Chaos. Good morning, Amber. Suzette, I think I already said. Louise, good morning. Scottish Lash, Sue Birch, Cindy S. Nice to see you. NH Gemma. Am I saying that right? Hopefully I'm saying that right. How do you know that? His family has only said he was in the hospital. No, that's not really true. We're going to go over that. No need to bicker back and forth just yet, because we have all the information that you guys need here on the Bullhorn Betty channel related to this. Yeah. I wasn't going to go with Doug first because, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the show. But again, we will... as I go through this, we'll have a little conversation. I may just go ahead and get through that because I do realize you guys are very concerned about him. And again, this is not good. I don't know how to say that. Who knows? Good morning to you, Suzette. I think Quinny, I already talked to you. Kitty Cat, Louise. Just popped up. Days. Thank you again for the hospitality last night on your show. If you guys didn't get to see it and want to hear a little more about Bullhorn Betty and how I got where I am today, we did go a little bit. We can kind of scratch the surface of what led me down this road. So I thought it was fun. It was good fun. Ezekiel, good morning. Sue Birch, nice to see you. Heart Ash. Mira Z. Dotes, Texaholic, days to see you. Graham, got a lot of people in here. CT Clamor, Mary, Sage, good morning, nice to see you. Sport, I don't know that. Good morning from Scotland. Lex Luther, nice to see you. Aaron Landis. Mira Z. We keep going here. Confession will break the internet today. Mickey Knox. Jody Sue Brown, confession will break internet today. I'm curious what that means. Maybe we'll need to have a discussion on that. Guys, again, don't forget to get the likes up. I'm monitoring those likes so we can get started this morning. And if this is correct, we're only at 18 likes with 229 people in this chat. That's not good enough, folks. I never heard about this happening to Doug until this morning. Yes, Amy, it's making its rounds. I found out about it yesterday. I was kind of trying to decide whether to go live once I learned of it and got the information about what happened and who was responsible. And, I just thought every time I checked live, I believe things happen for a reason. There was a channel that I liked that was already live. I didn't want to, I try very hard not to, if I see somebody that I like and subscribe to, if they're live, I don't go live, because what it does is it pulls viewers from their channel. And that's not what I want to do. Obviously there are creators out there that, we like each other and we try to support each other's channels, and removing viewers from somebody's channel to me is just, it's kind of stepping on toes. Does it happen? Of course it does, because we schedule stuff. We're already on top of each other about a lot of cases as is. But if it's preventable, I will, not go live if I see somebody else live. And quite frankly, I was just having an R&R day yesterday, where we learned from the language of letting go that sometimes you just need to relax. It's not necessarily that life is getting overwhelming or anything like that. It's just sometimes we creators, burn our candle at both ends when we're juggling so many cases. I mean, we're juggling Dylan Round case. We're still monitoring Gabby Petito. We're dipping our toes into Michael Monkey Vaughan. We're still following up on Summer Wells. We're getting still more information on Cody Bigsby. Plus, we're trying to advocate for children that are on the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children that really haven't been showcased on social media about their cases. So we're doing a lot, the best that we can do to try to advocate for the missing and bring their stories. And then we have other stuff that comes up that we weren't expecting, such as, somebody attacking Doug live. He is one of us. He is a YouTuber on the streets of YouTube. And no matter, I didn't really watch him that much, even though we covered the Gabby Petito case. He was out there, he had infrared. He found somebody in a cabin, he notified people. Law enforcement moved their search area because there was somebody else out in those woods, another person that law enforcement was looking for. And they found this, newer campsite with clothes, male clothes that were similar in nature to Brian Laundrie. And they had this manhunt. Come to find out, it was a completely different fugitive that they moved this entire search thinking it was Brian, and it wasn't. It was some other fugitive that was hiding in those woods that they were able to apprehend. And Doug Live actually found, I believe, his cabin that he was staying in before, or something to that nature. It was very interesting. And Doug Live has been dedicated to the Gabby Petito case and keeping everybody in Northport up to date on that case. As many of you guys know, that particular case is very near and dear to my heart. So although I never met him, hung out with him, was on his panel, or even really watched him, he's still one of us. He's still a YouTuber. He is still an activist for people of crime. And what happened to him should never happen to anybody else. And we're going to go over the details of what happened. So just sit tight. We will get to it. Tressa Cole, nice to see you. Pink Phoenix, love to have you here. Thank you. We've got a lot of stuff. And I also want to give a big shout out to Hellcat. Many of you guys know, Wake Up Little Susie, good morning. Lynn, good morning. Anissa, good morning. She came out here. Now, mind you, Hellcat, this is related to Michael Vaughan, just was very concerned about Michael Vaughan, wanted to support the family, and ended up going to his birthday party, which was open to the public. She went there, not looking, not trying to find any answers or anything else, just to support the family, just to support Michael Monkey Vaughan. But she did see some odd things that happened there, and she vocalized those. She vocalized those on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we're just looking into all avenues related to this case, because if we miss an avenue and don't discuss it, and we find out that that was the avenue we should have been discussing, what did we just do? We wasted time, and we totally, so we didn't hurt feelings. We totally didn't even cover one aspect of the case that could be very, very important. But either way, all she was just doing is describing what she thought was odd. You know, the distance between Brandy and Tyler, you know, when the cameras came on, they were close together, hugging each other. When the cameras were off, they were on opposite sides. Tyler really wasn't. There's a lot of things that could explain that. You know, Tyler's just grieving, you know, but again, it was odd behavior that she expressed. So what had happened after that is she went under major attack and major fire from people on Team Brandy, which was absolutely unnecessary, because at the end of the day, we are going to have this discussion whether they like it or not. We are going to discuss this case in its entirety, and we're going to be discussing some of that today. But to be attacking people shows problems. Because if you got nothing to hide, you don't need to attack people for just simply talking. You know what you could do? You could explain it, just like I did. He's under immense grief. He just wants to be left alone. I came out here. He didn't even really want to go to this birthday because his heart was broken. You know, it could have been explained. But instead of being professional, instead of putting your head on and doing it the right way, they don't do that. They attacked her and doxed her. Attacked her and doxed her. I totally denounce that. Whoever did that to her, shame on you. Shame on you. You are a despicable person. You are a despicable person. You know, doxed her on Twitter. I hope people that are out there that saw that dox reported it to Twitter, because that's a good way to lose your channel. And if you have not reported it and it's still up, I ask you all to go over there. Doxing of people, their home addresses, their work addresses, any information is absolutely inappropriate. Especially, I mean, YouTubers, you know, if you do it, expect it to be done to you. But if you are a spectator, you are a part of the audience, you are hands off. You are hands off. You should be able to come to channels and speak freely without backlash. And there is, you know, again, this could have been explained more appropriately, but I always do things to see what a reaction will be, because those reactions are very, very telling and very, very important. And I'm sorry, whoever is, you know, fighting for Brandy, you made her look bad, period. You made her look horrible. And if she did not authorize you to do that, shame on you, because you just made her look bad in the eyes of all these people when you're trying to make her look good. Because normal people would explain themselves, not attack the person that is just merely stating what they watched. Right? So shame on them, whoever did that to Hellcat. Hellcat, we love you. We thank you for your time. You know, I'm sorry that you went through that. If there's anything that we can do as a channel here, please let us know. But if you see anybody, and especially our audience being doxxed, I want to know about it immediately. And I want those to be reported immediately, because that goes against every terms of service across social media and is very dangerous, and so dangerous that it comes in line with what happened to Doug. And I'm going to tell you right now, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And if any of my audience is ever injured because of some stupid idiot that wants to dox them, I promise you, it will never end well for you. It will never end well for you. Heed my warning. Audience members are off limits. You want to attack a YouTuber? We're used to it. That's different. But to go after our audience is despicable and disgusting and deplorable and shows your character and integrity, not mine and not theirs. And not only that, but you made Brandy and Tyler look really, really bad. Really bad. And that's not good when they have a missing child and people are starting to look at them. Just saying. So I know I missed a lot of people, but we have a lot of people in the chat right now. Guys, we have 327 people. What is our likes up to at this moment? If anybody can go look, I'd appreciate it. We have 101 likes. Okay, well, that's good. Now 103, because I like my own channel. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. So at any rate, I want blank screen reported and blocked. If he comes in here from this point forward, we are going to report and block. I want YouTube to know the IP address of whoever is coming in. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely not acceptable behavior. And not only that, but people should be free. You know, everybody across here was jumping on Bullhorn Betty saying, you don't let people speak freely in your chat. Yes, I do. I don't allow people to be disgusting and rude in my chat. There's a difference. You can speak freely. You can have opposing viewpoints, but there's no need to get nasty. Mean what you say what you mean, but you don't have to say it mean. Right? But to attack people that come in here and speak their opinion, a creator will go out there and attack that audience member. They don't even, and even if Hellcat does have a channel, it doesn't matter. Doxing of addresses is absolutely inappropriate on channel, on social media. It is a dangerous practice. It is a dangerous practice. So dangerous that if we do not have laws stating that if you dox somebody and something happens to them because of that dox, you are held liable, I will be working on initiatives to make that possible. If there's not already laws on the books, I will be getting with people here in Manatee County to find out if that's true. Because nobody should have to fear for their life for having an opinion. Ever. And shame on the people that do it. Now, creators, if you have doxed people and people dox you, oh well. Right? My address, everything I've had has been doxed. I remember I brought up early on Cam's criminal past, but that's because they were all splashing my criminal past all over the internet, right? That wasn't necessarily doxing, right? That's public record, and they did it to me. But me actually physically going out there and posting somebody's address or somebody's work, I've never done. No matter what these people will try to convince you of, I've never done that. They've done that to me. They've went as far as reaching out to a preacher of a church that I don't even go to talk to them about me. Like an idiot. Right? They went so far as to reach out to a preacher. And guess what? I'm still friends with that preacher, by the way. They didn't damage any relationship. You know? They didn't damage any relationship. Because in the world of God, we are all imperfect. That means I make mistakes every day. I'm the kind of Christian that knows I need God and need his word every single day. These are things that I would expect for creators, not our audience. I don't know if Hellcat has a channel or if she was just, but it didn't matter. She was not there in ill intent. She was there to support this family and support Michael Vaughan and his safe return. If she saw some things that made her antennas perk up, then how is that her fault? I'm just saying. No, I didn't fix the fallen. I didn't do anything yesterday. I actually canceled with Mama Bullhorn because I just needed a day. I had been running for, I think 14 solid days. I didn't have really a day off. Or yeah, maybe I did. I think I took that Saturday. I took a Saturday off. And I was just, a little overwhelmed yesterday and just like, I'm just going to chill today. I just need to chill. I felt the need to chill. And I trust my personal gut instinct. And that's what I did. I chilled. That's what I needed. Today, I feel great. I feel lively. I rested so much. I don't even have bags under my eyes this morning. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh, hey girl, haven't seen you in a while. So that's what we did. So I canceled Mama Bullhorn. Mama Bullhorn's going to be over here today. We're not fixing the fence. I'm not putting my mama out there in that heat. I'll do that another day. But we are going to do some, nothing better than to help, organize your house and, get things together, like doing something like that with mom. Like mom always cleans. Like every time I'm over at her house, she can't stop cleaning. So it's like, well, mom, since you can't sit down, why don't you come over here and hang out with your daughter and not sit down? I could use it a lot more than you can. Right? All right, guys. So Language of Letting Go. This is a longer one. I haven't read it, but I did take a look at it because I had to mark it in the book. So I knew what day we were at, right? Because I missed yesterday and I almost read yesterday's, and that's not what needs to be read today. So June 30th, make yourself at home. That's what I did yesterday. Why do I need to do it today? I'm just joking. I have to read this to Mama Bullhorn when she gets here. Make yourself at home. Oh. It was night, only a few months after I began my skydiving adventure. It was too cold to stay in my tent. I had to rent a cabin near the drop zone. Now I'd come back to hang out for a while before retiring for the night. One of the skydivers I met recently was sitting in a lawn chair under a tarped area between rows of trailers that had been turned into team rooms and student training areas. The evening lights had been turned on. He was wrapped up in a sleeping bag, reading a book under the hazy glow. He was one of the full-time skydivers who had been attracted to the gypsy lifestyle of the skydiving community as much as the sport itself. What are you doing? I asked. I'm in my living room reading a book, he replied. Do you like the view of the backyard? He asked. Making a gesture toward the rolling hills that cascade gently in the background. That's my patio, he said, pointing to the small area just around the corner. The morning sun hits there. It's a warm place to sit and eat breakfast. Sometimes I sleep in the tent, he said, pointing it off to the side. And sometimes I take a sleeping bag and curl up under the stars at the landing area over there. I looked around, almost envious of his freedom. Sometimes we get so busy and involved in creating a home for ourselves that we create a structure that is too safe, limiting, and confined. Many of us can agree to that. We forget about our real homes, the planet Earth. It's good to sleep indoors. It's nice to make ourselves comfortable in our home. But don't let your cozy nest become a locked, confining box. Stretch your arms. Push the lid off the box. Get out into the world. Walk around. Move about. See the hills, the lakes, the forests, the mountain peaks, the valleys, and the rivers. See how big your world can be. See how connected everything is. See how connected you are to all that is. Make yourself comfortable wherever you are. Make yourself a home and be at home in the world. God, help me relax and make myself at home in your bountiful world. I thought that was a good read and something we need to address. I mean, I stay here. I'm comfortable in my home. I just ordered groceries because I didn't want to get out of this comfortable box I have. So I had food delivered here, groceries delivered here on Instacart. But we need to kick that lid off the box, get out, So I challenge everybody today, either on your lunch break, before work, or after work, to go take a walk in the park. Go take a walk in some place that you haven't been in a while, and just take it all in. Just take it all in and enjoy your day, your evening, whatever. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Wicked West. Nice to see you, and good morning. Good morning to you. So many of you guys want me just to dive right into what happened to Doug Live. I was going to go over some other portions of stuff, Dylan Round, Michael Monkey Vaughan, as well as Summer Wells, just touch on those cases. But we'll go ahead and get into Doug Live. Okay, so I was notified. Many of you guys know I really don't know him. I heard he was in court with me. Oh, thank you, Margaret. It's nice to see you here. So many of you guys know I was just at the motion to dismiss hearing with the Petito Schmidt family, as well as the attorney for the Dirty Laundries. And apparently Doug Live was there. I didn't know him. I've never met him personally. I never walked up to him to introduce myself or even to say hi, because I did not know he was there. He's very, I want to say elusive. He doesn't really show his face too much. People know who he is. They know, what he looks like and stuff like that. I've never met him. I don't know what he looks like. He could have been standing next to me in front of Gabby Petito's house, and I would not have been the wiser, right? And he never came up to me at the motion to dismiss hearing, so I never got to say hi or introduce myself. Well, apparently, after that happened, he's had few lives. Again, he's one of the major creators that are still covering the Gabby Petito case almost full time, so to speak, because the majority of from my understanding, the majority of his content is related to and around the Laundrie home in Northport, where he resides. And I get a notification about a story. Let's see if I can pull that up. This one. That's just the rounds. From the Northport City Police Department, and I'm going to read it to you. It's going to be up on screen as well, but I'm going to read it to you in case people are on their phones and the print is too small. So on Saturday, June 25th, that was 5 days ago, guys. So this is not like breaking news. And again, I was going to run with it yesterday, but opted to wait until this morning to let people know what was going on. On Saturday, June 25th, 2022, at around 9:56 p.m., Northport police officers were dispatched to the 1200 block of Cathedral Avenue, here in the city, in reference to a physical altercation. The caller advised that there was a fight between two adult males and that one was needing CPR. The caller, who was advised that the other individual had left the scene. Once officers arrived, they found a male in distress, unconscious and not breathing. First responders started life-saving measures. The Northport Fire Department was able to obtain a pulse and transported the male to Sarasota Memorial Hospital ER in Northport. Detectives began to sorry guys, I'm getting goosebumps literally reading this. It's just heartbreaking for me. Detectives began an investigation. Detectives were able to obtain eyewitness account and video surveillance. Two individuals involved are known to each other and have had previous run-ins. The evidence clearly indicates that the victim was sitting in his vehicle in front of his house when approached by the suspect. After words were exchanged, the suspect reached into the vehicle and forcefully removed the victim's phone from his hands. A physical altercation ensued. As a result of the fight, the victim, who has a history of medical issues, collapsed and needed life-saving measures. The suspect fled the area in his personal vehicle. The suspect was quickly identified and later interviewed. Arrested was Jason Paul Sternquist, 49, on 2 charges with additional charges pending. One charge of battery, touch, or strike, a misdemeanor, and one charge of burglary of an occupied conveyance, unarmed, and a felony. And that was for reaching in and trying to forcibly remove the phone. Our victim in this case is currently at Sarasota Memorial Hospital main campus in the ICU. Additional charges may be filed depending on the outcome. That's because he's not doing well and may not make it, guys. We don't know how long he didn't have oxygen, but when personnel showed up, he was unconscious and not breathing. And there may be additional, if you guys can see my arms, my arms and legs are just filled with goosebumps. I don't know why, but depending on the outcome, because the problem is if Doug does pass away, this man will most likely be charged with his murder. It's that serious, folks. It truly is just that serious. So a lot of people are asking, thank you, Amy, how do we know it's Doug? Let me pull this down. Let me get to that side. Apparently I put two of the same things up here. Let me remove that. We know, where is this? There it is. So here we are. I'll pull this back up. So Doug has a fan page, Doug Live Northport fan page on Facebook. And so this is where I know for a fact it is Doug Live. His daughters had to fly in. So I understand a family wanting their time to gather, but have hundreds of people literally sick, wondering what's going on. I'm sure someone could throw us a bone. So people are very anxious to find out what is going on with Doug Live, but it is him. We've had the family confirm. All right, everyone. I have to say this. You got to chill on asking how Doug's doing. His daughters will tell us when they have a chance to. And in this pandemic, you got to remember hospitals will only allow a certain amount of people in to visit. So take a breath and allow Doug's daughters to take their time and get the information. So again, the children have confirmed online on his Facebook fan page that it in fact was Doug Live that is in ICU. And my understanding is I don't think he may be breathing on his own. He may not. I don't want to spread misinformation about Doug and what's going on here. Here's one. Okay, Doug Live fans, everyone has been wanting to see Mama G. She gave me permission to share this pic so everyone would know her face and not have to keep asking. I do ask you to respect her privacy. She is mourning the loss of her mother. So apparently, and we're going to kind of dive into this if I can keep all the facts correct. The reason why people want to know what she looks like is because apparently this guy was one of her friend's husbands. And it's my understanding that she recently broke up, or he recently broke up with her. So this is kind of almost a weird thing. I don't know if this was a man that was, not happy with Doug, or, something Doug did to his friend, his wife's, friend, and decided to take action in his own accord. But when they originally got this out, he was charged with actually charged with a cyber stalking charge, which drives right into the heart of, why it's so important that people do not dox people. Believe me, nobody wants to understand the implications of what you're doing. If you post somebody's address and one of your followers living near decides to go over to that house and injure somebody, you are responsible. You will be charged in that crime, especially if somebody dies. So I am asking all creators to be more responsible. And even the audience. You can't play in that pond either. You can't not be a creator and go dox people and think it's okay. It's not okay whether you're a creator or a spectator. Just stop. It's not that serious. This is YouTube. Okay, I know people are so obsessed with YouTube and think this is an interactive, drama fest, and this is all fake. It's not. These are real people's lives that you're meddling with and you're screwing with. Real people. This is not a character on a soap opera. I am not a character on a soap opera. This is not Who Can Sink That Battleship. Okay, I'm a real, live, breathing person that has safety concerns and have addressed those safety concerns, not only with YouTube, but with others that can help. So I'm just, I just want people to start being more responsible. And this is why I don't go live from my vehicle, right? Sitting out in front of my house, because I don't want you to know what's inside my house. I feel more comfortable with you seeing one little room inside my house than me sitting out there like a sitting duck in a car, right? So this is also, a notice to creators. You never know what creep is around the corner. And if you're doing all your lives 100% from your car, consider moving that inside where you're a little more safe. So that's what we are going to be discussing. But yes, for those people that are out there, yes, this is Doug. Doug is on, I don't know if he's on life support. I don't want to put information in their mouth. I just know he's not doing well. I just want to let you know that he's not doing well. And he is in grave, grave danger. All over what? All over what? So here's the man that is responsible for the altercation. Again, Jason, 49 years old. He is out on bond today. Here's his charges. And again, when they originally came out, these are a little different. So I'm wondering if they may have dropped the cyber stalking. And of course, his occupation is unemployed. So, I don't think he's going to be getting a job anytime soon, because if this gentleman, if Doug passes, there's going to be some much stronger charges against this man. All for what? Because he couldn't control himself. He couldn't control his anger. He felt the need, either whether it was to defend the honor of his wife's friend, or whether he just didn't like Doug. So he drives over to Doug's home to assault him. And I think he's a big guy, so he can have an ego moment. And because of his conduct, someone may lose their life. This is no joke, folks. All those people out there, this is no joke. When you start putting something out there that incites your base to attack another creator, this could happen. Because we don't know if this gentleman was on another live and maybe somebody was dissing Doug. Was this a personal matter? He knew that that man was going to be outside of his home to go live at 10, and attacked him right before Doug was going to be live. Mayor Z, I was told his birthday was yesterday. I could be wrong. It might be today. Maybe I heard yesterday his birthday's today. I don't know. But either way, this gentleman is responsible. His charges on this one are robbery by sudden snatching without firearm weapon. Oh, here it is. Aggravated stalking follow, harass, cyber stalking, and threaten to a person. So this idea, you hear that, cyber stalking. Why? Because he was watching him online to find out where he was, find out when he was going live. Does that sound familiar to some people out here on YouTube? So you guys don't think this is real? You guys don't think this is real? You think you guys can just keep doxing people and letting people know where people live? You think that's okay? Now, granted, this person knew Doug personally. So there may be other things in here, right? Other reasons. But the bottom line is aggravated stalking. People say, oh, you can't get in trouble for following somebody around online. The hell you can't. Harassing them nonstop, doxing them nonstop. The hell you can't. So this gentleman is out again. He was originally no bond, had no bond. So he must have made an appearance before the judge after the arrest, and the judge set his bond, probably because he was not a flight risk to them. You know, I beg to differ, you know, and will he be bonded out again? Because if Doug does not make it, bet your bottom dollar, Jason is going to be facing much stronger issues, much stronger crime charges than he is today. I am personally praying that Doug makes it. I don't want anything happening to any person on the streets of YouTube, let alone one of our own, let alone somebody that lives so close to me, 45 minutes away. All of this over what? You know what we're going to find out? We're going to find out it was over nothing. That's what we're going to find out. That this was literally over nothing. Just irritating. It's irritating. And it's sad. It's sad. So now we know there's also another charge here. Let me see. Which one did I hit? Did I hit the first one or the second one? Let's hit the second one. Yeah, and here's the second one. This is burglary. He's also charged with burglary, occupied conveyance, unarmed, and battery, touch or strike. So this man may be facing a lot of time in prison over his conduct, over something he thought he was going to be Billy Badass, go up there, look really hard, you know, have the ego stroked. And now he is in jail. He had to be bonded out, and there may be other charges pending. And I pray to God, Doug comes out of this. I pray to God, guys, but it's not looking good from what I was reading. I want to prepare you guys for that. We're going to keep uplifting Doug Live's family and praying for him coming to and recovering from this altercation, this attack on him. But for those people out there that don't believe this is real life, you can't get any more real life than this. You go ask Doug's children if this is real. You go ask Doug's family if this is real. This is not a TV station. This is not fictional characters that are written on a piece of paper and change their names and can get shot on TV and come out and be in the next episode. That's not real. For the people out there in YouTube world that says, oh, this is just YouTube, this is not real. Go ask Doug's children right now if this is real. Go ask my little sister if this is real. It's as real as you can get. For all you people on here playing YouTube as a game, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. So many people have asked, where did this take place? So we're going to show you. That is the home. And he was sitting right in front of the home. We're going to get down there. Get down there. So right in his front yard, could have been in his driveway or out here on the road. That is where the altercation happened. This is right where the altercation happened in Northport. On Cathedral, right out in front of his house. He was on his own property when this lunatic decided to attack him. You know, I don't want Jason to be charged with second-degree murder or manslaughter. I don't. I'd like nothing more than Doug to wake up and start doing his lives. Interesting. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. So this is just sad, guys. And again, why are we bringing up this Mama G? It's because, you know, we have all this stuff on here related to Doug. Apparently this gal was on one of his lives. You know, there was an altercation. Apparently he may, if I've got the information correct, he was seeing or may have dated this lady, and she is no longer with him and is friends with the wife of the man that attacked Doug. If I've got all the pieces together and all the factors together, or she's the friend of Doug's girlfriend, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that she is the ex-girlfriend or somebody that was dating Doug. So, and then of course, let me pull this back. Keep doing that. Okay, and then they also made a fan page just days before this altercation happened for Mama G, which is this lady right here, Cindy LaRock. So, you know, this, I don't really understand what Doug could have possibly done to provoke such a response from an animal like Jason. I think his name's Stern something or other. So, you know, that's just where we're at. Again, this is where the altercation happened right here. And it's just sad. It's sad. Let me see if I can pull this. I'll create a project. So I'll get more information about Doug. I'll be monitoring it. But please, guys, you know, keep him and his family in their prayers. That's why Doug did not go live at 10 o'clock. This happened literally right before he was going live, literally minutes. He was preparing. He was sitting in his vehicle. He was gearing up his live. And all of a sudden, some guy comes in there, reaching through the window, attacking him, trying to grab his phone while he's trying to prepare a live. And they got into an altercation. You know, Doug Live, from what I understand, has a heart condition. Anybody that has known him or been around him would know he has a heart condition. It is my understanding he had a pacemaker in his chest. And this guy in the altercation left Doug Live unconscious and not breathing and needed life-saving measures to get a pulse, and is currently in the ICU at Sarasota Memorial Hospital in Northport, in the ER in the Northport location. This should never happen again. And no matter how I look at it, it seems it all stems from him being a YouTuber. The way it looks now, even whether he knows these people or not, it seems to be because of the work that he did. And I just want to let everybody know that this is totally unacceptable. Nobody is worth life in jail for, and nobody deserves to die because somebody doesn't like their viewpoints, their opinions, or something to that nature. Yes, he does. And was scared to get back into the hospital. Wait, Doug's wife was murdered a few years ago? I did not know that. I'm not sure. I've never heard that. Is it possible? Maybe that's why he's into the true crime the way he is. Maybe he feels like it's vindicating his wife. Maybe it's something that keeps his mind off of his wife. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if everybody on YouTube hated anything that man says. He has a right to be there just like everybody else. If you don't like the content, change the channel. Going out and doxing people, going out and inciting your base to attack and harass is disgusting. So I'm waiting to hear, again, don't know. Obviously, these people knew each other. There is a connection with a person that Doug was dating and this gentleman, apparently friends with this gentleman, the perpetrator's wife, from my understanding. There was some kind of confrontation, verbal confrontation, days earlier, or, some kind of argument, disagreement between Doug and Mama G, that from the best of my knowledge, where they created her own specific fan page. Could it have been that she wanted to have her own YouTube channel? I don't know. What I do know is that Doug is fighting for his life right now. Fighting for his life and may not make it. So I just want to make sure people understand that this is real life. People on YouTube, haters and stuff, want to make you think it's fictional and that you can do whatever the hell you want to do. It is not fictional. I'm a real person. I am not a character. No director or writer wrote me into the script. When you dox my address, you are literally putting my life in danger. Just like any other creator. I am not a character. No, no thanks. No, this is Doug live from Northport. Two different Dougs. So there's that information related to Doug. Just lighten it up just a little bit. I know you guys know Doug live from Northport. If you guys have been here, you guys know he covered the Gabby Petito case right along with myself. I didn't meet him out there, but I could have been standing right next to him and never even known. I know I heard about him while I was out there. That was the first time I ever heard about him. Was in front of Gabby Petito, because people were telling me, did you see that guy that had the infrared? He found some heat from a cabin and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I never met him. And then when I was at Gabby Petito's motion to dismiss, or the Laundrie versus Schmidt Petito motion to dismiss hearing, June 22nd, or June 22nd. Everybody's like, oh, Doug Live's there. And I'm like, I don't know who he is. I would have, just like every other creator, whether they like me or not, I'm typically, I go up to them. I have to be honest with you. There are some creators that I just can't stand, so much so if they tried to say hi to me, I would literally turn around and walk away. Like, don't talk to me. I won't get in a confrontation with them. I won't say nothing to them. I will simply turn and walk the other direction. I could give two craps about you, period. Like, don't talk to me. We are not friends. I'm not going to act nice to you. Just stay the hell away from me. I have done that before. I've done that before. And you want to know who I did it before? Is the voodoo candle witch lady. That's who I did it to. Coming out of the hippie house, wants to say, oh, hey, boy. Nope. Mm-mm. See ya. Bye. Mm-mm. Don't come up here talking to me. I got nothing for you. You know what I got for you? My back. That's what I got. Yeah. It's just sad. It's sad and unnecessary. Sad and unnecessary. But again, at the end of the day, we just want him to wake up. I haven't reached out to the daughters. I haven't reached out to anybody. I haven't reached out to his family. I have reached out to 0 people related to this case because, again, I want him to get better. I want him to be back on YouTube. I want him, being out in front of the Laundrie house. I just want him back. I hope everybody else does. This is just absolutely despicable. This is a heinous act perpetrated upon Doug Live, again, a YouTube creator. He is part of the family, whether we love him or hate him. It doesn't matter. He's part of the family. And being part of the family makes us give a damn, all of us. And the people that don't give a damn, unsubscribe to them. Unsubscribe to them. They are not worth the space on YouTube. They are not worth the space on YouTube. So it's just sad. It's really sad. We want him to be uplifted. We want his family to be uplifted. And again, I will try to keep this up to date as much as possible when information is available for updates. I will keep you guys posted as to what is truly going on. Let's see here. What is going on with this? I hate when that happens. Sorry, I'm still utilizing this MacBook Pro. Still not a pro at it. Still not a pro. So now that we are, we discussed that, I just want to lighten it up a little bit to see did you guys watch? I was actually, I couldn't finish it, but Dolly's Island. How many of you guys were in his chat last night working on voting people off the island? It's almost, he has a little fun little skit with that where it's like the Survivor Island type of thing. And all of us creators, all of us true crime creators, you have to be a true crime creator. You can't be, somebody that's mad because they didn't knit the same stitch that they were supposed to knit. It's not the yarn community. It's not the craft community. It's the true crime community. You have to watch it. You have to only vote for people in true crime. That includes Bullhorn Betty. And last night, Tiffany Marie was voted off the island. The week before, BK was voted off the island. He was the first one voted off the island. And like a true champ, he did actually provide a video. I was surprised. I didn't think he was going to do it. And, in true BK fashion, he said his goodbyes with his laugh and his middle fingers up. But, again, what do you expect? That was BK. BK is a character. I don't know how to say it. So, yes, Dolly he was hilarious. I was watching it. I didn't get to the end, but I have to say I cheated because the people commented in the comment section, like his chat, you can opt to have your live chat on your replays. Apparently he's got his clicked off, so I couldn't see the live chats going on. But the comments, it was like the first 2 comments were talking about they were happy Tiffany Marie was voted off the island. So I kind of cheated. I didn't watch it to the end to find out who was voted off the island last night. I read the comments, and the comments told me it was TM. So again, I did watch a lot of the people that were voting for her, what they had said, and they're a little upset. One over the check that she didn't write, that she fabricated, and which was, deceiving to her own audience that has been, providing her money so she can make these donations, and she pocketed that money and was deceitful about the payment to Summer Wells fund. So people got onto that, and really that did a lot of damage to Tiffany Marie and her real motives as to why she, one, doesn't go to vigils, doesn't really, has never left her home to go out here to look for, look at, even just go buy the property. If you're going to cover the case for a year, you would think you would want to have some kind of personal perspective. But again, I digress. Either way, the YouTube audience out there in the true crime industry has apparently just had enough with her BS and voted her and kicked her, like just bum kicked her off the island. I heard that she didn't just win, like she leaps and bounds won. Like it was so far ahead, people just were tired of Tiffany Marie. And there was like 600 or 700 people in his chat room last night. So, the majority rules, I guess, she's off. I'm wondering if she's going to be, participate in the bye-bye video, right? Even BK, went out like a true champ and at least, indulged Dolly enough to make a video about his departure off the island. I don't know if Tiffany Marie has that. She seems like she's got that stick up her butt, and it will have a sourpuss face and will want to lash out at everybody, as opposed to just taking it as a joke and doing a funny video saying she really doesn't care she's kicked off the island. But we'll see. We'll see, right? We'll see what path Tiffany Marie chooses to go as she is out of the island. She no longer has to run around there. She doesn't have to try to get firewood. She doesn't have to go and work on getting, building the forts. I don't know what they do on the island. They survive, right? They survive this cutthroat island, Invisible Dolly's Island. But again, funny stuff. Just thought I would lighten the mood. I wasn't even going to talk about that, but I felt like after talking about Doug and what happened to him, we needed something to break it up, because we're about to cover some more stuff that's not, happy, right? We've got missing people out there. So, Dylan Rounds. Many of you guys know Dylan Rounds disappeared from his Utah farm. Nobody really knows what happened to him. All we know is that the truck appeared to have been cleaned. Just a good looking boy. He wasn't somebody, he was a simpleton, right? He just wanted the simple life. He wanted to farm, which is not really simple. It's hard, pretty damn hard work. But he wasn't, why I call him a simpleton is because he wasn't into all the technology. He wasn't into phones. He wasn't into games. He wasn't into social media. I mean, he may have posted on social media to family and friends, but just for the better part, he was just a good country boy that just wanted to tend to his farm, right? That's all he cared about, was getting his crops grown and making that dollar. And he worked hard. And he was very, very, very dedicated to that job at such a young age. It would be great if you would do a live on just this. The stalking among YouTubers, creators need to stop. Absolutely. And that's why I was collaborating with Ernie Shell, is because we were wanting to bring, expose the kind of conduct that goes on here, not only to YouTube, but to the people that can help. And it's getting it's getting to be, there are rules, and I'm going to go over those rules on here. And they're very specific. And my problem is, why is YouTube not enforcing the rules that they clearly have for harassment and cyber stalking. And you'll understand why once we read them. And you know what? It may be one of those things that we all need to start, like we did for Don Wells. We may need to have a writing campaign to YouTube. We may need to have a writing campaign to YouTube to stop this nonsense, because the only way it's going to stop is the collective voices coming together and sending that off, right? And so what I do on here is I create my own content and we discuss it. Or we talk about cases. You very rarely ever hear me go out of my way to attack another creator. I may respond to attacks that are happening to me, but I have never gone out of my way to attack another creator. And people will say, well, what about Cam? I'm merely speaking my opinion. Cam and Allie can't handle somebody else's opinion. And they go on this tirade. Anybody that says their name out of their mouth, they feel like, oh, you can't have that opinion. They decide to have a 2-hour dissertation in comments explaining their position, which again shows they can't handle criticism. I have to handle it every single day of my life. You don't see me going out and doing 3-page dissertations on why I'm wrong and you're right. It's stupid and a waste of time. Took that hour to write that paragraph out, those 18, 20 paragraphs. You could have probably been doing some searching for Summer Wells. Just saying. Yeah, I don't think reviewing a video is doxing. But when does it become harassment? Don't you think somebody that has a thumbnail for a creator every single day for a solid 6 months is no longer reviewing them, is no longer previewing them, is no longer, it is gone from, something innocent to something more nefarious, which is causing problems. You have no right to do that to somebody. You have no right to do that to somebody. And those creators need to be held accountable for their actions. Every single day. And as a matter of fact, they actually have rules about this. And we're going to read them. As a matter of fact, why don't we just go there right now? Let me pull this back and we're going to go there. We're going to read what the rules are for YouTube, right? Let's read them. Let's get a good understanding what they are. Let's get a good understanding of what they are. Oh, thank you, Kathy Jordan, for being our newest member. Thank you. And you guys do have milestones. I've activated the milestones on here. So if you guys are 2 or 3 months, you guys can actually do a milestone note in here and recognize your months of commitment to this channel, and also be able to have a statement run through it. I'm sure you guys have seen them where you're on other channels and you'll see that they are members for 3 months and they say, oh, thank you guys. We love the mods and chats. And they just put a little message there. You can do that. You can do that. So this is their changes in harassment and cyber. What is it? Oh, let me go back and reread that. It is changes to our harassment and cyber bullying policy. Cyber bullying policy. Where was it that I was reading it? Here it is. So content that threatens individuals is not allowed on YouTube. We do not allow content that targets an individual with prolonged or malicious insults based on I can't pronounce the word. I can't pronounce it. Attributes. These attributes include protected group class. Did you see that? It says we do not allow content that targets an individual with prolonged or malicious insults. I would say that putting somebody up every single day and insulting them on your channel falls under targets an individual with prolonged and malicious insult. The very first sentence of their harassment and cyberbullying paragraph, the very first one. The very first one. And this is YouTube. Now, YouTube has to enforce their policies in order to make a difference. And this is where me and YouTube have a problem. Because they're not enforcing their harassment and cyberbullying rules on their own channel. So, again, what we may do is start a mail campaign. This is not an email campaign. This is not go on Twitter and try like hell to blow Twitter up so we can get somebody to respond from YouTube. It is literally mailing them a shit ton of people saying we have had enough to their business address, to their legal department, that is going to have to start addressing this matter. There are ways we can have our voice heard and stop this stuff before anybody else gets hurt. Doug's assailant was charged with cyber stalking for following him around and knowing exactly where he was. We've heard this happen to Ernie Shell. It is illegal. And we are going to start fighting back so this can stop happening. We're going to start fighting back on two fronts. This is before we make trips out to protest in front of YouTube's headquarters, right? We are going to start a diplomatic approach. The diplomatic approach to me is a huge mail campaign to the legal department of YouTube and a huge complaint campaign to the FBI. Because at this point, this is interstate. This is from state to state. Local police are not equipped to handle these. The only people that are going to be able to help is the FBI in getting this stuff under control. It really is. That's what they're for. Because this cannot be handled. Many of you guys know that it's hard to go from state to state asking for restraining orders. And that restraining order is only useful in that state. You need somebody bigger and badder. Homeland Security? You know, people don't realize that there is help for people like me. There is help for people like Doug. There is help for people like Ernie. It depends on how we handle it, but we are going to handle it the proper way. We are going to handle it the lawful way. And we are going to start cleaning up the streets of YouTube because I never want to cover another case of our own. Doug may lose his flippin' life. Over what? It's time for people to start being held accountable for their actions. And we're not going to stop this fight until people are. But I wanted to read that very first paragraph of the very first sentence of the policy on YouTube's harassment and cyber stalking page. And again, I want to make sure that people understand that YouTube does have policies about what has been happening on YouTube. They are not enforcing their own policies. They've got a page designated to harassment and cyberbullying that they throw out the window when creators start complaining. And if a creator complains too much, they actually, whether, a legitimate claim, YouTube will start censoring that person because they don't want anybody defying or screwing with whatever, right? I haven't had experienced that, but many creators have come to me and told me that that has happened to them for following and reporting violators to YouTube. They have actually been punished by YouTube. I have no proof of that. I have no receipts. That's what I heard. Northern Light, they did find the person that attacked Doug. His name was Jason something or other. It's Jason something or other. And I'll have to get to that. But it was Doug Live. So we'll see what all is going on there. But I'm turning that off. And we're going to just change topics a little bit. We're going to go to, is this Dylan Rounds? I think Dylan Rounds will be next. Let me see. I got a lot of stuff here for Dylan Rounds. So again, we're going over this. So just to recap, Dylan was in fact seen in Montello before he disappeared on the 26th. Let's just pull up Google Earth real quick here, and we'll look at the map and see where he was and where he was going. Yeah. Okay, so Montello. Just put this up while I do this so you guys can see where he was. So Montello. All right, so there's Montello right there. As you can see, desolate area. Just what is in and around this area is about the extent of it. Out of all that land, that is about the extent of it. So let me pull this out a little bit because I think it'll let you see the lines. So you guys can see how close the Utah line is here. That is the Utah state. So he is in, let's go to Lucin, Nevada, or Lucin, Utah. See where it goes, how it goes from there. So you see how close Lucin and Montello are. They're not that far away from each other. They're not that far away from each other. So see, there's where he's at. There's Montello. And that's where he was. And he goes there. Apparently he was eating breakfast or something, not sure. Yes, Montello in Nevada. Yep. And he was in Lucin, Utah. That's where his ranch is. So, there is, obviously some, that's still a pretty good distance. But when you're in the middle of nowhere, everybody's used to driving 20, 30, 40, 50 miles just to get to their next neighbor. So that's not uncommon where I can see, apparently that's where he likes to go. Maybe that's I'm not familiar so much with that area, but that could have been like the closest place to town, right? Keep in mind, my daughter works for the FBI and my man works for the CIA. Someone will be held accountable for my doxing. Yeah. And you know what? Not just, if that's the way it is, don't just stop there. Help the other creators too. Help the other creators, because this is something bad. And not only that, but I wish the FBI would write a letter to YouTube and tell them that they're not even following their own guidelines. They're not even following their own damn guidelines, because I can think of at least 3 accounts that, based on that one first paragraph of their harassment and cyberbullying rules, would be off of this platform if they enforce their own rules. Literally off, not suspended, literally take the channel off. So like I said, it is our duty, whether we're asked to do it or not. If you see somebody doxxed, whether you like them or not, if you see them doxxed, report it. Report it. Report it. I'm also going to be creating a second channel. As many of you know, I've been bouncing around with that because there is so much drama that I can't address because this is a entertainment channel designated to true crime. So I keep, this channel, I try to keep it free of too much drama. We are guilty of getting into it because we're human, and some things do affect us and do provoke a response. It is just natural for that to happen. So to keep 100% of the drama out 100% of the time is perfection, which we all know does not exist in our worlds. So the next best thing is, just working hard to get something addressed. We don't live in a perfect world. MGL has gone, she's got her stars and stripes. I'm sorry, folks, whether you love her or hate her, she's been through the ringer and back. And, at the end of the day, I like MGL. I do not have a bone to pick with her. We didn't work out for a case. It doesn't stop us from ever collaborating on other cases in the future. It wasn't that we did bad work when we were there. It was just a personality conflict over one situation that got blown out of proportion. I don't hate her. And as a matter of fact, I thank her because without her, I wouldn't have had the hazing process rammed down my throat to make me here where I am today, right? Because had I not met her, I would not have been a target. I would have not, weathered the storm. I wouldn't have known what I had, whether I was worth being on YouTube or not. I went through all of that. The first 6 months, and we're in the 7th month of Bullhorn Betty channel being up. And I went through all that garbage. And now everything about me has been put out on the internet that nobody can really use it against me in the future because everybody already knows about it. So what? And now people, because it's been so blatant all over YouTube, is going to be looking at them saying, like, that's all you got? Like, that's old news. That happened 20 years ago. So who really gives a damn, right? So who really gives a damn? They got nothing on me. Literally nothing. And so without MGL and without all the backlash that we got for working with her, I don't know if I would have been strong enough if it came later. It happened so soon and so swift up front that now I get to lounge around and not even care. I don't care. Right? The ones that I care about knows about it. Right? Terrible news for Doug. Yeah, it is. It is, guys. It is. He got tacked on June 25th, a few minutes before he was going live at 10 o'clock. And it's just a sad state of affairs. He is in grave condition. He may not pull through. His daughters are in town. They may lose their father. This is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Yeah. He got attacked over nothing. That's what he got attacked over. Nothing. There is nothing that the man that got arrested for this heinous attack, there is nothing that this man can say to justify his actions. Nothing. This is what's wrong with our country, because these are grown-ass people acting this way. And these are people that are teaching their children. Right? It's sad. It's sick, if you ask me. It's truly, truly sick. So Dylan Rounds was out. There are some speculation, and I actually seen some posts in his in the Facebook page associated with him. there are pages that actually had a person of interest listed. Now, I don't know if that is in here. Why does she pop up on every single one of them? Probably got opened them when she was writing to me. And I believe it's down further, if I'm not mistaken. But there was a post that actually had a person of interest listed. But I haven't seen that post in a little minute, so it makes me wonder, was that person cleared? I don't know. I really don't know. I know it was down further on here. But we're going to go to this statement. We're going to go to the law enforcement statement in just a second. I can't find it. I really can't. But here's the area. Let's just look at this. So this is from someone, it looks like Chris Hall, that went out there and is doing the drone of the area. But it's just very desolate out there. You know, it's great for farmers that need big areas to do their crop. They arrested the guy that attacked Doug. Yes, and he's out on bond, actually. He was when he was arrested, he had no bond. He had to see the judge in order to have the bond set. Just got here. Daughters drove in from Illinois. Let's just give an update on here. So Glenda just got here. Daughters drove in from Illinois. The Sterns used to follow and harass Doug on the road while Doug was on live. So, you know, these are people that have been stalking and harassing this man. You know, people say, you know, people joke. I never used to be paranoid until I got on YouTube and people started showing up at my house. And I remember having a conversation months ago when I chatted with Dolly for the first time. And we were talking about, you know, what I had experienced. And I was telling him, and he's like, oh, nobody's ever came here. And I said, yeah, it's fun and games until they show up, you know, and that's what I told him. I said, you know, be careful out there. It's fun and games. And that's when he told me, you know, he had the bulletproof vest. He carries a piece when he feels in danger, but it doesn't stop people from showing up at your house unannounced and alarming the crap out of you, right? And people tease me about being paranoid. Well, you know, they created the paranoia in me, and they should have to answer for that, because it's not fair to feel trapped in your own house that you can't go out, right? It's not fair. And especially for somebody I've done nothing wrong. I haven't committed any crimes. I sit here and report on true crime, and I get doxxed and harassed online all the time because of what? Because I have an entertainment channel that covers true crime and somebody may not like what I say. Then quit watching. Quit watching. Sending people to my house is not doing anything but putting their life in danger as well as mine. Because something will happen eventually. Look at Doug. So anyways, so let's just read through some of the stuff. Actually, I've got a statement here pulled up. At least I did have it. Here it is. So Elko, Nevada, June 2022, the Elko County Sheriff's Office is still assisting Box Elder County Sheriff's Office in locating Dylan Round. We are directing people to Box Elder County in this case and would like to encourage people to reach out to them with any information they have regarding Dylan's disappearance. We would like to clarify our involvement in the case, as there is misinformation that Elko County Sheriff's Department has jurisdiction over this case. Dylan was, in fact, seen in Montello before his disappearance on the 26th of May, not the 27th, as reported on social media. He ate at a local establishment there and then returned to Utah. Cell phone data was used to track Dylan's phone around his farm in Lucin, Utah. Dylan made a phone call to family member on the 28th at approximately 6:51 Mountain Time. We can confirm that the phone call was made from the farm based off the cell phone data. The last cell phone data communication from Dylan's phone was on the 28th of May near his farm in Box Elder County in the state of Utah. Dylan's disappeared sometime after he made that phone call. Based upon the information above, jurisdiction for this case is retained by Utah law enforcement. So they're basically saying, don't be calling us and giving us leads. You need to call Utah. Utah is the agency, has the jurisdiction, and will be monitoring this case. We were first notified of this case on May 31st, 2022, when we responded to Montello on a call that someone was being held hostage in Montello. Sheriff's Office deputies responded to Montello and searched a resident with the consent of the owner. At that time, we reached out to Box Elder County and offered our assistance. We have been diligently working with Box Elder County Sheriff's Office and providing them resources that they have requested. We have also escorted their detectives into Nevada, where they have conducted interviews with people that may be associated with Dylan's case. The Elko County Sheriff's Office has accommodated all requests by Box Elder County Sheriff's Office for interviews of persons associated with this case. Detectives and deputies from our office have also been conducting a parallel investigation into information we can connect to any person or persons with information on the Nevada side. We have been sharing those interviews with detectives from Box Elder County. This is an active, ongoing investigation. As such, the Elko County Sheriff's Office will not release any information that has the potential to compromise this investigation. Any additional details involving this case will be released by Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. So they are in an assisting type of role for Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. They are conducting interviews in connection with the case on the Nevada side, where they have jurisdiction over those people, and relaying that information back to Box Elder County. So Elko County Sheriff is not the law enforcement of record. They have no jurisdiction over the Dylan Rounds case. They are only assisting the Utah law enforcement at this time. Wanted to make sure that was cleared up for everybody here today. Again, Dylan Round, 19 years old, disappeared from unusual circumstances in and around his farm. At the time, he called his grandmother. He was talking about a gentleman that appeared to be on substances or having, doesn't appear to be right upstairs, that was asking him for his phone and asking him for a ride. He did not provide that ride. Could that be the person of interest in his disappearance? We don't know. Was there an altercation with an adjoining farm? Was there neighbors even, we go out of our doors and we can look to either side of our home and our neighbors are there. In places like this, your neighbors aren't there for many miles because people have acreages, miles of acreages, of farmland in these desolate rural areas. And so could it have been an altercation with another ranch or farm down the way? We don't know. We literally know nothing. What we do know is Dylan is missing. It appears there was no struggle or appearance of an altercation on the farm that we know of. His truck was not parked in the right spot and appeared to have been cleaned. His boots, he only had one pair of shoes. When those wore out, he bought another pair exactly the same and pitched the old ones. So he always had the same style and make, model of shoe. And these were his newer shoes that he would have been wearing that day were near the truck, I believe, or away from the truck, but somewhere on that property, they found his shoes. That means that Dylan has no shoes on his feet because those would have been the shoes that he was wearing. There was a blood stain on his shoe. We never heard back whether that blood stain was animal or human. We did hear that the shoes stayed in the officer's car for 5 days in the heat, which is just somebody really, really just messed that up. Did the heat cause any damage to some forensic evidence? I don't know. But definitely not a good evidence practice by any stretch of the imagination. Those should have been processed. They should have been turned in that day for processing. So I don't understand what happened. Either way, it is what it is. He's gone. The grain truck was not in the right spot. The truck was not in the right spot. The chair was pushed up way too close to the steering wheel. It did not appear that Dylan was the last person that drove that vehicle. So this is not really looking good. No touch it. He hasn't touched social media, hasn't reached out to family, and hasn't touched his bank account. So he just disappeared. And when people just disappear and they don't touch their bank account and don't touch their phone, it's usually not a very good sign. The family is offering a $100,000 reward to the safe return of Dylan Rounds or the successful prosecution, the information that leads to the successful prosecution of the person responsible in this matter. The family award is $100,000. They want answers for their baby boy. And I'm sure mom and dad are just devastated. They made this beautiful creature that loved Earth, that was really good in all, imagination, wasn't out there in the streets, wasn't being a fool. All he wanted to do was have the farm life, have the easy, simple life. And I can tell you, farming is not easy or simple. It's very, very tough. It's very hard, and it's a lot of work. And this boy was up for the challenge. He was not one that did games or, that cared about social media or did what normal 19-year-old children this day and age do. All he cared about is farming and his crops growing and in being a successful farmer. Those are great aspirations for a young boy to have such a, know exactly what they want to do in life. That's very hard. Many of us flip-flop around life for a really long time before we say, this is what I want to do. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did everything he could to have that life. And just to have it snuffed away at this point, that's what I'm going to say, because the information that we're being provided and following this case and realizing there were some mistakes that happened, because again, these mistakes happen because law enforcement do not conduct themselves, when adults go missing. They don't do all the stuff necessary up front to protect or preserve investigations of missing adults. They don't do the forensics properly. They don't do this. They just do, it's just not good. And, when you hear about boots staying in the back of a police cruiser for 5 days instead of them being immediately turned over and into evidence is a little concerning for anybody, as you can imagine. Yeah. Glenda, Mama G is his partner, not married, but they just recently broke up. And of course, this guy, his girlfriend apparently is friends with the lady, if I've understood the information I received correctly. Oh, thank you, April. Thank you. I appreciate that. So getting off Dylan Round, there's a lot of stuff still swirling. It sounds to me like they do have a few persons of interest in mind. I'm sure they're working on the evidence to either prove or disprove whether these people were involved or not with Dylan Round. We are waiting here with bated breath, but a huge reward for any information of people that know this case, that are in Lucin, Utah, or Montello, Nevada. If anybody knows what happened. And I also heard that there was somebody that went looking for this man in Montello, and that may have actually been driven from Montello over to Lucin, Utah. And I'm curious who that was. That's just what I heard. I do not know if that's fact or not, but just what I heard through the grapevine. So very interested in this case, very interested in what's going on with this case. This case is definitely, getting a lot of attention to it. We were glad to participate in part of that attention to Dylan Rounds, and just another sad case, and just curious as to what could have possibly happened with this young boy. I can't imagine anybody having anything horrible to say about this man, let alone do something despicable and heinous to this young boy that just was so concerned about his own crops. That's all he cared about. For those that are just coming in, don't forget to go out and hit the thumbs up button. It is free to thank me and the mods and the chat. So please thumb this video. And as you're coming in or as you're leaving, if you're on replay, please stop what you're doing now and go and give me a thumbs up on this video. Not a whole lot going on in the world of Summer Wells. It's been kind of quiet on that front. People are, diving into all the information we've known and, speculating further, trying to, because, and I shouldn't say it like that, but what happens is, we've learned so much over a year, and it's so much information that a lot of the stuff that happened early on in the case, because we're a year later, we forgot about. We forgot this was said or that was said. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me, my hiccups. But we don't know what this was said or what that was said. But what we do know is we forgot a lot. And then when we go back and we hear this stuff again, and we're a year later of all those little fine-tuned changes that progressively happen, and now we have this whole new story, going back to the beginning and hearing the stories originating and what we're hearing now, it's like, okay, now we're seeing the glaring issues with their script and their story, because they said this minute, now, 6-7 months later, it was this. We're seeing those inconsistencies a lot more when we're going back to those. For those that know and don't know, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and I think Central time's only an hour behind me, I'm hoping. Otherwise, it might be 9. I'm going to actually be going on Listen to Voices Behind the Wall with Miss Cher. I'm going to be going on her panel tonight. If you guys would like to, tune in, I will be there. We're going to be discussing. I don't know what we're going to be discussing, but we're going to be discussing a lot, I'm sure. And it's nice to kind of collaborate with Miss Cher, because many of you guys don't know, when I first came out, her and I weren't necessarily friends. And, I love everyone. I really do. Even the ones that, misunderstood me at the beginning. And I feel like I was misunderstood because people were attacking me and didn't even know me and just spreading lies after lies. And I find it funny because there was this one creator that did this skit, and brought an ex-girlfriend up on their panel that was a friend of, that was an purportedly, allegedly the ex-girlfriend of one of our friends, one of our teammates. And this person, was just saying off the wall stuff, absolutely off the wall. Oh, hey, Hellcat, good morning. Good morning. I gave you a shout out at the beginning. I hope you replay this video when you have an opportunity. I gave you a shout out. But anyways, this one creator was bringing on this ex-girlfriend. Now, mind you, in one sentence, he's like, well, I just wanted the facts. And everybody's pointing out, but this isn't facts. This is, basically a scorned ex-girlfriend, potentially. And she's acting like she knew who I was, right? She's talking about me. And I'm thinking, I have never met this lady. How can she say one thing about me as fact when she has never even had a conversation? As a matter of fact, this very creator has said mad cash stuff about me, but he always tries to hold himself as factual. But yet he's never even spoken one sentence to me. He's never even got to know one thing about me. But he's out there spewing these lies as fact, and he's wondering why he's losing viewership. It's because you are not factual. You live in conjecture that you try to pawn off as fact, and then you're not even very creative. Nobody likes you talking like this, or, wearing your shirt too tight, or, you constantly beating up on women. Like, I have never attacked you or said anything about you, yet you're talking mad crap, cash crap about me, a woman, a female that you've never met before in your life. It's a bad look, especially when you have domestic battery arrest in your background. Yeah, and the person knows who I'm speaking of. So knock it off. Keep my name out of your mouth. You're a despicable human being, and you just need to go on with your life. Change your content, change your channel. I don't care what you do, but what you're doing, you're not good at. You're not good at all. Ernie Shell in the house. Our survivor. I was talking about Dolly's Island. You were immune this week. We love Ernie Shell. We are so happy. We are so happy he is back. We were missing our Ernie. We are glad you're back. We're glad you're happy. We want you to keep having that smile on your face. You look good, man. What can I say? I saw you in your first live that you came back on, and you looked refreshed. You looked like our Ernie. We want our Ernie back. So we're just going to keep fighting for you, man. We want you to do well. We love you, man. We love you. We want to see you successful. Guys, he's had to set up yet another channel. It's the Ernie Shell channel. Guys, go search him and sub to him. Get his stuff up. We need Ernie around. We're not going to let the bullies take us down. Ernie, I'm not sure if you heard about our friend, Doug Live. He's fighting for his life right now. Cyber stalking and harassment. Had a pacemaker, got into an altercation with somebody trying to take his phone out of his hand while he was sitting on his own property in his own car. And there was an altercation that left him unconscious and not breathing. He may not make it. He may not make it. And I'm telling you that because I want you to be safe out there. And God forbid, let me hear one more person say they're following this man, and I will tell you what, you're going to have some pretty rotten days ahead of you. Because I think right now, everybody that, gives a damn is, tired of it. We're tired of the bullying. We are going to start fighting back. We are going to start mail campaigns to YouTube. We're going to start mail campaigns to the FBI. We're going to do whatever we need to do to protect the people here on YouTube, so they can actually do their job without being under immense attacks constantly. It's not fair. They don't like what you're reporting. Turn the channel. Don't sit there and fight because you look like a freaking idiot. Just change the channel. You don't like Ernie? Don't watch him. Staying in his chat harassing him is inappropriate. There's no place on YouTube for that kind of garbage anymore. There really isn't. Yes, Jenny Lynn. He may not make it, guys. He may not make it. And it's sad. He's one of us. And again, whether you like him or don't like him, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is a YouTuber should not have to pay with their life because they're on YouTube. I'm sorry. They shouldn't have to worry about being physically violated because they're a YouTuber. We will not, and if you think, you guys have seen me deal with all this nonsense that I've dealt with for the last 7 months. If you think that I'm easily going to stop, or I'm going to lay down, or I'm not going to give it my all, or I'm not going to fight back with every legal option I have, you have lost your damn mind. If nothing more, I think I proved myself on that and that alone. They do. They have laws in every state. People aren't realizing that they do have remedies at their hands. All they have to do is take action. And we are going to start formulating that action that people can take. And not only that, you guys can help because you guys are tired of this nonsense too. You guys are tired of this. Hellcat is in here right now. She was doxxed she went to that, and I told you this earlier. Hellcat, I might as well just do it again while you're here. So I found out that you were doxxed for coming out. First of all, let me just explain this for the new people coming in. Hellcat did not go to Monkey's birthday party with ill intent. She went there to support the parents. She went there as a community member to support the cause, except there were some things that made her feel very uncomfortable while she was there. She didn't intentionally want to feel uncomfortable. She didn't intentionally go there to kick up a fuss or ruckus or anything like that. But she was there, and I was asking her questions about certain things that she wasn't just forthcoming about. But when I started talking to her, she's like, yeah, there was a little bit of odd behavior. So she just described what she saw. And because she described what she saw, people went out and not only attacked her, but doxed her. Who the hell do you think you are that you can go after somebody because they have an opinion and put them in harm's way because you don't like their opinion? That is not okay. And anybody that sees another creator doxing somebody's personal information, you report them. You don't give them a free pass. I don't care if they're your favorite freaking commentator. The only way we are going to stop this is to have our line in the sand. And when somebody crosses it, whether it's our best freaking friend or not, we report it. If it's our best friend, we call them and say, hey, you went too far. You need to take that down. As a friend, I'm telling you, please take that down, or I personally will report you myself. That's what you could do. Stand on your convictions, have integrity, and have character. We can stop this. We can stop all this bullying online if we unify that we're done with it. That's what we can do. Each and every one of us. Nobody deserves to go through what Doug and his family are going through right now. It is disgusting to me. It has gotten out of hand. And if you think that Bullhorn Betty is going to sit here in this little chair and do absolutely nothing, you've lost your damn mind. You have lost your damn mind. If nothing more, this just put the rocket fuel in my rockets. I never want to see this ever happen again to any other YouTuber. The cyber stalking and harassment has to stop. People are losing their lives. And the people that want to say this isn't real, you go ask Doug's children, does it feel real? Go ask them, is this real? Is YouTube real? It's not fiction for their family. Sure feels pretty freaking real from where I'm sitting. So Monkey Vaughan, Michael Monkey Vaughan, here's a clip from our lovely True Crime with Eve, which was on here the other day, giving us some updates on this case and giving us her information. You know, some people, it's not well taken on. Here at the Bullhorn Betty channel, we do not, we're not discriminate. We do not get discriminated against or get attacked without doing our job. We will do our job. If we get attacked because of it, that's okay. These YouTube streets are pretty mean. We're seeing the cause of what some of this mean is. People don't think that people on YouTube are in danger. We are in danger every day of our lives because of stupid people that think this is a freaking game. Yeah. Well, good for you. That's the kind of stuff we need, Hellcat. That's the kind of stuff we need. We need people that are confident in what they're saying. They trust themselves. And you know what? Doing the right thing is not always easy. But like I said, those people that doxed you, they could have explained that. They could have came out and had some integrity about them. And it said, Tyler was really nervous that day. He's still grieving. He doesn't know what happened to his son. He feels responsible because his son was under his care. That's why he was distant. Having a loving, caring statement. When you go straight out and start attacking people for their opinions and having questions about the behavior of the parents, you're not doing any justice for those parents. You're actually making those parents even look more guilty because of your attacks and because of the fact that you are not taking the road of, beyond reproach. They could have came out and said, well, we heard this stuff on Bullhorn Betty and we just wanted to, explain our side. We understand that, it may have looked like Tyler and Brandy were distant at the birthday party, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors, as you can imagine. He was under Tyler's care, and he's going through a lot right now. He's just grieving. He doesn't really want to be bothered. He doesn't want to be around the people, at that birthday party because he's sad. If they would have came out something like that, that would have been so much more professional. It would paint Brandy and Tyler in a different light for many people. But to come out and attack and wag a finger and then dox somebody because of their opinion, and mind you, Hellcat, I'm not sure if you have a channel or not, or if you're just a spectator, it doesn't matter. But our audience is hands off. They're allowed to have their opinions without having their shit doxed. I'm sorry. And you're doing a dangerous practice, because if you dox Hellcat and some of your crazed lunatic followers went over there and hurt one hair on her head, do you know how much trouble you would be in as a creator? Why would you put yourself in legal jeopardy? Why? Why would you put yourself in legal jeopardy? Just sad. You don't ever be sorry for speaking. You gave an opinion. I asked a question. You gave an opinion. If somebody doesn't like it, it doesn't mean that they can go out and just dox everything about you out there because they don't like your opinion. Why don't you justify the action before you go and dox somebody? You look like a sourpuss. You look like a freaking idiot. It shows you have no integrity, character, or class to go out and dox somebody for stating something that they observed. We are all about stand up, speak up. If you see something, you say something. If you are a true crime commentator or creator on the YouTube platform and you do not believe in those core principles, you probably shouldn't be covering true crime, because we advocate for you see something, you say something. She saw something, she said something. End of subject. End of subject. Anyways, getting on to Mike Vaughan. I thought this was interesting. This is from our lovely True Crime with Eve, which we had on, that really has just jumped into this case with both feet, with another gal that I got to meet the other night. We went on information overload, but I got a lot of great notes that I've got to digest, with a lot of different other content that I would like to bring to you, but I want to make sure that it's in the right order and that it explains the right thing. And we're actually going to go over the routes that an abductor could have possibly taken in this case. Does that mean that's what happened? It does not. There's a lot of nuances with this case, but we cover all angles here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So let's listen to this. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. There we go.
I just have a couple questions as far as the timeline is concerned. I know this has been an ongoing thing, and I know you've been through a lot of stress, and I know it's not fun, but I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this. My question on the timeline is, when you went to, at what time did you go to work that day when you left the home?
I was between 12 and 12:15 because I had to be there by 12:30.
Okay.
That was the start of my shift.
Understand. And when you left home, Tyler was there and your father was there, correct?
Tyler's father. Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So what time did his father leave to go wherever he went for the day?
Honestly, I can't tell you that because I was not here.
Wait, what?
Because of what?
I was not here. I don't know.
Oops, I hit the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
I have a couple questions as far as the timeline is concerned. I know this has been an ongoing thing, and I know you've been through a lot of stress, and I know it's not fun. But I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this. My question on the timeline is, when you went to, at what time did you go to work that day when you left the home?
I was between 12 and 12:15 because I had to be there by 12:30.
Okay.
And I believe that she has been confirmed as being at work at 12:30. So, when all this stuff took place, it appears in all practicality that Brandy was not at home at the time. I just want to make sure that's clear.
Was the start of my shift.
Understand. And when you left home, Tyler was there and your father was there, correct?
Tyler's father. Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So what time did his father leave to go wherever he went for the day?
Honestly, I can't tell you that because I was not here.
Now, before we go on to the second thing where we're about to go, you would think, this is just my opinion, and I'm saying this in all loving purposes. If your child was missing by the time you got home, you were called at work at your Albertsons job, and you had to go home because your son was missing, how would you not know this detail? Because I don't know any woman in this world that wouldn't be asking them over and over again, what happened? Where were you? What time did you leave? Think about how many times this question had to have been asked to this one lady. And so it's just, it doesn't mean anything. I want to make sure that that's clear to all, because I know people get a little butthurt when you don't put those exclaimers there, but we don't know what happened. But you would think at this point, this juncture in the investigation, you would know exactly where your father-in-law was, where your significant other was, where your children were, what happened. You would have been asking them over and over again. So you have a great understanding of exactly who, especially you being the spokesperson for that family and going out and talking to people, you would want to know your facts before you did that. I'm just saying, I could be wrong. But I don't know how I feel about I don't know, I wasn't there. You could have said, well, I spoke to him and he told me he left around this time and because he had this appointment at this time. Something of that nature, where you're not saying, well, I don't know, I wasn't there. But you're also stating that, by saying something to that nature, that you actually asked. Why would somebody not want to ask about every person that was there with her son when she left, what they were doing at the time he disappeared? It seems like that would be a natural conversation you would have in a situation like this. I could be way off base here, way off base. That's just my opinion. But who knows?
Wait, what?
Because of what?
I was not here. I don't know what time he left that day.
So Tyler's never told you what time his father left after you left for the day?
Don't pay attention really to what dad does, because dad's dad.
I can understand you not paying attention to what your father-in-law does or does not do on a normal day. But I would think that the day that your child disappeared and has not been seen from since, you would damn sure want to know where everybody was, especially seeing how you weren't home at the time.
No, no, I understand. I'm just wondering, you were gone, and then I'm just trying to figure out how much time lapse there was from the point of you leaving, and then Grandpa leaving, and then you, and then all of a sudden at 6:30, everything starts. The events start happening of, everyone's noticed Michael's gone and so forth. During that time, who was with all three of the kids? I know one of your daughters was at, I think you said, was a band practice or something like that, or she does some kind of school thing, right?
Yes.
So during that time, from what I understand in the timeline, she's trying to get a time frame of when, from the time you left to go to work, the time that Grandpa left, what was that time in between, and then the time from Grandpa leaving that it was Tyler and the kids there.
Well, I'll just go ask because I don't know. Honestly, I was not here. Honestly.
That's just a big gap. Like, so we don't get to hear.
But I just wanted to try to fill that gap in and just kind of get a feel for what was going on during that gap.
Any idea what time that I was? No. Yeah, done.
Is Tyler done? I mean, I hear her. So is Tyler like around you right now where you could just ask him real quick?
I did. He said the afternoon. Nobody really pays much attention to time in our household unless, we're going to work. And
You're breaking up a little bit, Brandy.
Maybe like 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. Okay. I'm not a time person. Never have one. Okay.
I mean, and it was the last moments he saw his grandson. So an approximate time before he got a haircut. We should know that.
it was after 12 p.m.
It's noon and I'm going to bed.
Thank you, Eve, for that. Let me pull this off. So again, we got a lot of, a lot of information. That was an interview clip of it. That doesn't necessarily mean that they did anything, but I just personally would have expected a mom that wasn't home at the time her child disappeared. Hey, Melody, at the time that her child disappeared, that they don't know. I mean, this, if I'm understanding, I could be wrong. I don't think Eve is in the chat. But, I believe that this particular interview happened, months later. I don't think this was something that happened right after the events transpired. And so I would have to think that everybody has already had to tell their story several times to law enforcement at this point in time. So, it's just a little concerning that she seemed very distant. She didn't want it just, to me, didn't seem like she wanted to answer that question. And the way I perceive, now I could be wrong because men and barbers are much different. You may not need an appointment. When women go in, we have to have an appointment. And so we have to know when we need to leave the house to make it to that appointment on time. I'm curious to find out, was Grandpa's was that an appointment made previously? And if so, wouldn't that help define when he left the house? If he knew that all he did was leave the house and go straight to his hair appointment, wouldn't he know when he needed to leave the house or around what time he needed to leave the house to make it to that appointment on time? I don't know. We might be splitting hairs over that statement of when Grandpa left the home. But I have to say that there are, just some peculiar information. So I'm going to bring up next the area in this where this all took place. We're going to show you a few things on the map related. Excuse me, I don't know what the heck is wrong. Related. So that's the last place that we had reports, and we haven't confirmed was that the day before or the day of. But there was a witness that saw Michael Monkey Vaughan at the corner of Southwest 9th Street and South Arizona Avenue, allegedly that went missing. He was at this point on the day in question, which I believe was what, July 27th? Just get back to my notes. I take lots and lots and lots of notes. July 27th. So that was the area. So I wanted to show you some things on this map. Let me get this out. So if you go, well, let me go out a little bit. Oh, no, I need to go in. Okay. So if you go out of this neighborhood, you know, there are cameras. There's really only one way in and one way out of this neighborhood. And I believe it's here, right here. And there's cameras all around. Here's the splash pad. We got several homes here that have security cameras. We've got a home right around here that has a security camera that actually looks at the splash pad. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, let me go back to my map, mark the spot. So right over here. So again, like I said, this is the way out up here into the community, the only way out. But there are several other ways out, and we've seen it. So let me stop this, and I'm going to show you one way. So one way is this right here. This is a dirt road that people can drive down right here, straight down here, and to get on one of these roads out here to get out of the community, which then goes to the main drag here. There's also this road here, which is a dirt road that cuts between some other farmlands and goes around. Let's see if I can pull this down to the Snake River right here. And we did follow it up, but this seems almost secluded. Like if you take this road out, there's no real road to get back on the interstate. There is a rest stop, like right around here. But in order for you to get to that rest stop, you've got to jump the shrubbery and the embankments to get to the parking lot to get back on I-84. So this would have been used for somebody that did not want to get on the interstate, but still a place that they could use. So if there was an abduction, this could be a route that they use along with this route right here to get out undetected. So there is those possibilities there. This one not so easy. This one a little more understandable to get out of the neighborhood undetected. But even then, would somebody in these houses or businesses here notice a vehicle coming down a dirt road? You know, it has that dirt road smoke behind your tires. You can see, even though you can't see the make, model, or size of the vehicle, you can see that there's a vehicle driving down that road by the dirt that's pushed up into the air, almost like smoke. You guys have seen that. So again, we are looking at, because we're not really looking at he just wandered off for a few factors, a few reasons. The few reasons that to me seems to have been eliminated on its own, because they had so many people out there in and around the area at the time that they would have found this little boy had he just merely walked off. So it is still a possibility. It's just further down on the list, almost to the bottom. So now we're looking at, you know, the abduction theory and the possibility of other foul means, including the parents. And a lot of people have made their decision. You know, they back the parents. But I'm curious as to what due diligence that they did to back the parents. Everybody wants they're innocent until proven guilty. I'm just the opposite. I'm not getting close to anybody that could possibly or potentially be a person of interest. And I found out that the mom, you know, that's missing her child, is now modding for some smaller creators out there on YouTube world. And I'm thinking, when would you have time to mod for another channel when you have a child missing out of your home? You would think that any ounce of time that you have would be devoted to trying to find your child. So, you know, there are some things that are piquing my curiosity with this case. And I'm going to be honest with my feelings about how I feel about certain types of conduct coming from parents of missing children because their child is missing. And you would think that there would be some type of, you know, already something that they would be doing. Now, do I believe that parents, that are missing children need an outlet, need a way to kind of get away just to recharge their batteries? I absolutely do. But there are other ways to do it than being on YouTube as a moderator for a smaller channel or any channel. I don't care if they had 1 million freaking viewers. What are you doing modding for their channel? I truly believe people that are missing need to be around other people that have missing children, i.e., there are groups out there that help moms and dads get through this process. And they have, almost like, it's, and I hate saying it like this, but it is true. It is almost like an AA meeting, but it's not. It's not for people that have dependencies. It's for people that have missing children. There are groups all over this country in every town, just like AA, that help parents that have lost children. I would think that if my child was missing and I was completely, utterly devastated and didn't know where my child was, I don't foresee me being on YouTube as a moderator for channels, as opposed to getting out there and keeping his face out there and keeping his face alive and being at these meetings so I can rejuvenate myself and find out how other parents have dealt with this kind of grief and pain, as opposed to being around people that are making money off of me. And these are the same creators that go out and attack people for having an opinion and looking into this case, which is giving the parents a bad name, because why do you need to attack people? If there's an innocent explanation for behavior, then just come out and talk about the explanation of the behavior. Attacking people shows you have something to hide, right? That's how I equate it. That's how I personally equate it. You attack me for having an opinion, I must be getting pretty close. You come out and politely explain your position or why something happened, I would be like, okay, maybe it isn't that. These people seem pretty chill. They didn't mind addressing the tough question. It's when you attack people that are asking the tough questions is when it starts perking my attention and sending up red flags for Bullhorn Betty. So I'm not sure how my audience feels about that, but that's how I feel. So again, we are looking at this. People are saying, oh, you're going to just look at the parents and not look anywhere else. No, that's not true. I don't want any parent to be responsible for their child missing. Are you kidding me? I don't want that. I don't want that for anybody, especially that child that's missing. I want this baby to come home. But again, I'm just getting into this case. I'm jumping in with both feet. I'm getting educated in what's going on. And I'm going to apply my experience along the way. There are some things that do not make sense here. They just don't. And I'm going to express those. And if people don't like it, don't like it. You want to attack? You're making the parents look like crap. You're not helping them. You're only hurting them. Yeah, absolutely, sweet Stevia. Well said. Well said. Jennifer, I don't know. It doesn't, from what I heard, it's not good. It's really not. Like, he is holding on by a thread. He is holding on by a thread. And I don't know, again, I don't know this man personally. I know of him, and it is breaking my heart. It's rocking me to my core that something like this could happen to any of us. But we've been talking about it, and we have been driving this message home for some time, and people have been laughing and thinking it's a freaking game. And we've been telling them this is not a game. This is not Sink That Battleship. This is not a soap opera with fictitious people in it and a script to stay to. These are real people. This is real life. And anybody that wants to try to convince themselves that this is not is a fool. What you're doing to real people. We are not a character in a saga. We're not a character in a drama-filled movie. I am a real person When you dox my address, you're doxing my real home address. You are putting my life in jeopardy. And this has got to stop. This has got to stop. Yes, Victoria, I did already talk about Doug, but those that are just coming in here, so I shouldn't have deleted the stuff so we could go back to it, but I already deleted so I could keep myself. I had so many screens open on here, so I kept, with the flow of this show. I was actually not going to talk about Doug until closer to the end, but so many people came in here concerned about Doug that I actually did his first and then moved on from there. So many of you guys don't know that on June 25th, Doug he was preparing a live. He does his lives from his car. And somebody decided to come up to him, somebody he knew, somebody that has been cyber stalking him and harassing him online for some time. This person may be connected to Mama G, which is his partner or significant other. Apparently there was some kind of breakup potentially that happened between her and Doug. Her friend's husband appeared, at least this is my understanding. I could be wrong about these facts. This is and a person that gave me this information was accurate. It's just that is my recollection as accurate as what she told me. I'm not sure. But what I can tell you is that it appears that Mama G was friends with the wife of the man that attacked Doug. He waited before when Doug was about to go live, and he went up to his car. He tried to force the phone out of his hand. He got the phone out of his hand. It appears that Doug stepped out of the car to get the phone. They had an altercation in the street, which left Doug unresponsive and not breathing. Unresponsive and not breathing. He is in Sarasota Memorial Hospital, Northport location, in the ICU there, and it's not looking good for him. He may not make it. And that's what I'm driving home is, people keep thinking YouTube is not real. And again, I'm going to ask you ask his children if this feels real to them, because it sure the hell feels real to me. That's what I heard, or had a disagreement and went their separate ways. Whether, when you're in a relationship, you have fights and you break up and you get back together, break up and get back together, especially if it's a new relationship, before you get where you're just accepting of the person and realize you guys have fights and you don't need to break up anymore because you break up and get back together. There's no point in breaking up. Just have the fight, go your separate ways, and come back, kiss and make up, Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for doing that. And we all need to do that. Guys, if you guys would, we have almost 500 people in this chat right now. Would you guys give prayer hands for Doug Live of Northport today? A big shout out from Bullhorn Betty and the Coffee Clubbers. I would really like just to show, if the family ever comes back here and looks at this, they see all the love and support from this channel for Doug. Prayer hands, please. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That is the love and support. This is the real love and support of the YouTube community. This is the heart and soul of YouTube right here, where we don't want violence. We're not out there being nasty to people. We want people to be able to do what they want to do without fear of having to be in the ICU unit. So we're just giving a big shout out to Doug Live, Northport. Again, he did a lot of great work on Gabby Petito, and we cannot look past that. He still continues, yes, and happy birthday to him as well. I'm hoping that we get, that his fan page, discloses his condition and that he's improving. But folks, prepare that he may not improve. And again, this has got to stop. The cyber stalking and harassment is real, and it's real life. It is real life. And many of you guys know I have been screaming about this problem since the day I debuted on YouTube. And I'm thankful that this did not happen to me. And it could have. It shouldn't happen to anyone. It shouldn't have happened to anyone. So with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead. Let me pull this back. I'm going to go ahead and open the phone lines. I want to know how you feel about Doug. If you want to discuss these cases, however you feel, this is going to be your safe space. Get over here and turn the phones on. We are open for call-ins right now. If you guys would like to call in, I'm going to leave a 5-minute timer for people. I mean, if we don't get a lot of calls and we want to go over that 5 minutes, that's fine. But we want to make sure that everybody that wants an opportunity to speak has the opportunity to speak. So, yep, Mel Mack, thank you. Jason Sternquist, I think you spelled the name wrong. Possibly. I think there's one more letter that's there. I could be wrong because I've only seen his name twice. So let's see here. Doug was such a nice guy. Yeah, I wish I had an opportunity to meet him, and apparently at that motion to dismiss hearing, he was there. I didn't know who he was. I'd never seen him. He could have been standing next to me in the Bryan Laundrie. We were outside the house. I wouldn't have been the wiser because he never came up and introduced himself. So it's just sad. Yeah. Fan page, they can come here to get what possibly happened. Yeah. So that's kind of it. There's a lot of information. Sternquist, thank you. I knew there was it just seemed like it was just one letter short. Yes, thank you, Mel Mack. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Jason Sternquist is the one that has been arrested. Now he's innocent until proven guilty, until he gets to court. He has been arrested for the conduct. Now he has to go before the judge and jurors in this matter. And they've clearly said that these charges may be upgraded depending on what happens to Doug. That means it is possible that this man is going to be facing a second-degree murder charge if Doug does not pull through. It is that serious. It is that serious. This is Betty.
Hello.
Hello.
Your mother.
Mama Bullhorn. I don't want you freaking out by hearing this story. If you start freaking out on me, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I didn't hear you. What did you say? Freaking out?
Yeah. Are you calling because of Doug? Are you calling because of the case?
Well, I'm going to say keep your peepers open at all times. Okay?
Yep.
Keep your heat close.
Let me ask you a question since you're on here. We do get blessed with your presence every now and again on this channel. Can you tell our audience what my life was like prior to being YouTube and what my life is like now that I've been in YouTube? In respects of my recluseness.
Oh, you never went out. You stayed home and worked your business. You never, I couldn't even get you to come over to my house. But now you're always going.
Yeah, but I do stay home. I mean, but when I'm not going, where am I?
at home.
People call me
Or-
paranoid.
Paranoid.
Yep, they say I'm paranoid.
Not. No way. But the one thing I want to say is, I'm glad to see Ernie.
Ernie, you're getting a shout out from Mama Bullhorn. Holy crap.
Because my daughter is one of your number one fans. And the second thing is, it came to me yesterday. I was looking at a map of where Dylan went missing.
Mm-hmm.
And within 5 to 10 miles of the whole area, there's several reservoirs of water. And Adventures with a Purpose are by far the most experienced water search team, more than the local sheriffs. They have more training. It's like EquiSearch. When somebody goes missing, everybody calls in EquiSearch.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone should contact, I think his name is Doug.
But Adventures with a Purpose.
Yeah, with Adventures with a Purpose. To go search though, and it's totally free to go search those water reservoirs.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, in our own backyard, he found a girl who had been missing 20 years.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
how does it make you feel being a mother of a now new YouTuber and hearing about Doug's story?
it scares me. And I'm not telling your stepdad. Oh, hell no. The Marine lieutenant, you know what he'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. He would say, stop it, quit it, shut it down. You know, it's just,
yeah.
He's black and white. Either you're in the good or you're in the bad. There's no gray area. And that man is rigid. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I worry about you.
Of course.
I know you have good neighbors.
One that has a shotgun sitting by his front door.
But we used to live in a good neighborhood too when you were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times did I get broken into?
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5. One when I was still there in the house.
Well, you were walking. You were walking with Jack.
No,
and
I got broken into. You and your sister were at your dad's house.
Oh, wow. I thought that was the one where you heard Angela walking out of the room screaming because there was somebody in the...
Yes, that is true. That is true. That happened. They came in the house while she was sitting there watching videos. And they came in the slider and grabbed my purse and ran.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I was home on one of my days off from, I work medical.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking a nap, and they didn't know I was there because the car was in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get far when they realized I was there. But we had locks put on every window, every door. I put in a security system.
Mm-hmm. Don't mess with Mama and her cubs.
Luckily, the transformer in the backyard blew up and caught the big tree in our backyard on fire. So the power company came and cut down that big tree. So nobody had nothing to hide under.
Mm-hmm.
And then me and the next door neighbor went together and had a street light put up between our houses.
Yeah.
You could sit in the pool and read a book in the midnight.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
We never had another
You
problem.
never told me about that other
ever.
intruder. You never told me about the other intruder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the one that tried to climb through your bedroom window.
Well, that was me sneaking out when you decided to knee me in my jaw while I was sleeping and grab him and scare him within the inch of his life.
He got Mama Bullhorn came after him with a Louisville Slugger. He couldn't. I'm telling you.
Don't worry, that boy never looked at me in my eyes again, Ma. You ran him off.
I was very protective
Yep.
of my girls. But anyways, I'm not a violent person.
No.
Don't get that idea. I'm not a violent person. I'm very passive, actually.
You are?
But when it comes to my children, you have no idea.
Mama Bear turns into Mama Bullhorn turns into a grizzly.
How bullhorn I can get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But anyways, I've taken up enough time.
All right. Yeah, you are over the 5-minute limit, but you are Mama Bullhorn. You did give birth to me, so we gave you a pass this time.
Well, I just wanted to mention Adventures with a Purpose, to search those reservoirs and say hi to Ernie.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right,
Mom. Love you.
Oh, and let me know when you want me to come.
Come over now. I'll be off here shortly. We're going on to 3 hours. I'm just going to let people speak, talk about how they feel about a lot of this information we went over, and then we'll wrap it up. So whenever you're ready, I'm ready. I'm up.
Okay. I got to finish I've been up all morning since 2:30.
Mom, your house is white glove clean. I don't want to hear you got to vacuum it for the 3rd time this morning. Save some of the energy for over here.
All right.
Love you. Love you too. Bye. I'm a bullhorn. I'm a bullhorn on the bullhorn. Actually, she came out the first time she actually saw me work. I was out in front of, it was during, the height of the pandemic. And I was, Holmes Beach took a lot of our parking spaces away to limit the people that could go out and get fresh air. And so they didn't want to open them back up. They still don't want to open them back up. So we did a protest in front of Holmes Beach City Council. We were out there with our signs, out there with our bullhorn, and just a few people showed up, but Mama Bullhorn was one of them. And that was the first time she had ever seen me on a bullhorn doing my thing, because, this is what I've done for years. It's where I've been. She never, participated or came out to support anything, because, I'm a one-man banjo, right? And so she decided to come out and support me in this endeavor. And she got to see me for the first time on the bullhorn. I got to say, I think I shocked Mama. I think Mama, she was standing proud, but I'm sure she was ready to run and hide. No, I'm just joking. I went out there and did my thing. She sat in there when I addressed Holmes Beach. I can tell you, the Holmes Beach is not a fan of Bullhorn Betty. This is Betty.
Hi, it's a quick call. It's Amy from New Jersey. Sorry for my hoarse voice.
That's okay.
I have some good news. I was just looking at Facebook, and I just see a post shared by Crimes, Lines, and Lies through WFLA JB Buno. It says Judge Hunter W. Carroll has denied the Laundrie's motion to dismiss the lawsuit filed in Gabby Petito's parents in Sarasota County Court. This is a gift to Doug, live from Northport.
Yeah.
I think this is God helping us get justice. So I just I quickly said, oh my God, I wasn't going to call because I don't feel that good today,
Yeah.
But I figured, let me just call you and let you know.
Thank you.
That thank goodness that these pieces of crap have to go and show themselves up in court, and maybe
we finally get to hear what really
So
happened.
go on Facebook if you have Facebook. Go to the just show it on maybe screen share the WFLA JB Buno page. On Facebook. And I just found it. So this is a miraculous thing. And I'm just, it's scary. I'm a nurse. And so, my thing with Doug is that, you just don't know how long his brain did not have oxygen.
Right.
And right now, because I did, they're probably in the process of figuring out, let's see if he's going to respond, if he's on a ventilator, if he starts to they wean him off and see what happens. But like, they always have to do like a brain activity scan. If there's nothing, there's not going to be much that they could do if it, depending on how long the brain was starved of oxygen.
Right.
And
that's what I've said out the gate is we don't know how long he was out without oxygen, how long he wasn't breathing for.
Absolutely.
It's scary.
But the other thing is that we can't sit in our driveways and in parking lots without, especially at night. Like I don't go anywhere at night now.
Yeah.
I really don't like to. With this crime wave related to who's in the office in DC. Sorry to get political, folks, but things are not good with our safety right now.
No, they're not.
And the other thing is that, even when I pull into my garage, I just pull in and I shut my door. If it's dark, if I'm questioning, just, everybody has to be safe, but I just don't know. I think that's probably right now. It's too soon to really know what's happening with his condition, because he's still on the ventilator, and they have to see what comes back. And if something could come back, he may not be the same person that he was before this happened.
Yeah.
So, and I would hope if he does survive, that this animal is held responsible for taking care of him, providing home care, providing care for the rest of his life to make him comfortable and dignified, because that's a lot of work when something happens and they pull through.
And he's got got young daughters. I mean, his daughters can't be that old.
They're in their 20s. They live up in the Midwest area. But I'm just saying that I just think that they probably have to. They're unfortunately he does have a mother, so hopefully their grandmother is helping them through this too, because it's very stressful for everybody. So everybody needs to, but that was excellent news. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it, and you said it was on their Facebook page.
Just look at. Do you know what? Do you go to Crime Lines and Lies? There's they have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Crime, the one that has the YouTube.
Brooks.
And it it's the latest 8 minutes ago. They posted the decision by the judge.
Good.
So it's a good thing. So you could share that and show what they had. It's so I can't read on my phone. It's so small. It says order denying defendant's motion to dismiss. It shows the decision. All right. I'll let somebody else call, and I hope I kept to my 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and hang up, because I'm on this right now looking up, and I won't be able to hang up. Bye-bye, Amy. Thank you. Thank you for the great news. So guys, it looks like we have some information. I'm trying to find that. It looks like it's a private group. I'm trying to get in now, so it won't show me anything unless I'm a member on here. So we're going to go to try to see if we can find Hey JB, WFLA, see if we can find something on his page. There he is. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, here is the order. Let's read what it has to say. Let me turn off. I'm going to turn off the phones, guys, just for a second, so we can read this without interruption, and then I'll turn it back on if you guys would like something to say. Okay. Order denying defendant's motion to dismiss. Before the court, the defendant's motion to dismiss amended complaint DIN 33, the plaintiffs filed an opposition DN 38, and the defendants filed a reply DN 39. Today's ruling does not determine what happened to Gabby. Instead, today's ruling is technical in nature, which we discussed this. When we were talking about the motion to dismiss, I told you that really you can't argue the case at this stage. It's technical in nature. Did they make technical problems? Did they state an actual cause of action? And this is why, because the cause of action was the infliction of emotional distress. or something to that, I don't know how the language actually was without actually reading it, but it was related to emotional distress caused by the dirty laundries. And so there is a 4-pronged test that we talked about, or 4 elements that must be proven, or at least stated in the complaint, to show the cause of action. If they argue the 4 prongs, the 4 elements of the emotional distress criteria, then they couldn't stop it at a motion to dismiss. It would have to go to trial to be adjudicated. What happened here is the dirty laundry attorney was arguing that they did not meet one of the elements of outrageousness. And I told you, I thought that the Petito Schmidt family attorney argued that outrageousness very cleverly. He did very good. The defendants, the dirty laundry attorney, wanted the judge to go outside of the 4 corners of the complaint, because when you're in a motion to dismiss, you have to take everything in the complaint as true for that purpose. Not that it's been adjudicated, not that it's been proven, just for the purpose, because motion to dismiss is for technicalities, i.e., if the laundry attorney could prove that they didn't rise to the muster of outrageousness as one of the elements for that test, then that could have been thrown out, because they did not state a full cause of action, because they did not plead all 4 elements. They only pled 3 of the 4 elements. So that's where this came in. And I was very vocal about this, that I'm not sure the 5th Amendment privilege applied to the laundry, because that's what they're saying. They had a right to remain silent. The problem is in civil cases, you have no 5th Amendment. You do not have a right to remain silent in civil action, only in criminal action. And what they were arguing is that they weren't under investigation. They didn't have an arrest warrant out for them or their son at the time. There would have been no need for them to plead the 5th Amendment unless they had committed a crime. That would be the only way that they could have that 5th Amendment privilege. So that actually came up in that proceeding. And quite frankly, I didn't know that was going to be an argument, because that went outside the 4 corners of the complaint. I just happened to say that early on, that I don't think that they had a 5th Amendment privilege, because that's only for criminal cases. And unless they had a criminal charge or were being investigated criminally, they wouldn't have had that 5th Amendment. So that was argued as well. The outrageousness element of the emotional distress was argued, as well as the 5th Amendment privilege. But again, exercising that 5th Amendment privilege goes outside of the 4 corners of the complaint. And I don't know that the judge could really entertain that, or did entertain that, and didn't think it rose to the level of being able to dismiss this complaint. So here's a good day. So let's just keep reading here. Today's ruling does not determine what happened to Gabby. Instead, today's ruling is technical in nature. It determines only whether Gabby Petito parents, the plaintiffs, stated a valid claim against Brian Laundrie's parents, the defendants, because the Laundrie's statement by their attorney, in the context of the unique facts of this case, it is obviously outrageous. The court concludes that the plaintiff has stated a cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress against the Laundries. The court denies Laundrie's motion to dismiss. So let's just go ahead and read over. This is an 8-page. I only have 1 page. I'm surprised, well, it's WFLA, because I just went to the docket and this order has not been uploaded into the docket yet. So they were able to get a hold of this, but they only provided 1 of the 8 pages here, it appears. But we'll read what is on here. The amended complaint and its allegations of fact. The operative complaint is the amended complaint, DIN 32, and each of the 4 counts purported to state a cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress based on the same allegation of fact. The plaintiff are Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt, the parents of Gabby Petito, who is deceased. The defendants are Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, the parents of Brian Laundrie, who is deceased. Each plaintiff sues each defendant. To avoid confusion, the court refers to the individuals by their names instead of their last names. The Florida law, the court must assume all well-pled facts to be true when ruling on a motion to dismiss, which we've discussed many times. And that's based upon, again, case law, not a Florida statute that, Google attorneys out there try to use. These are the people that are on YouTube that try to act like they know what they're talking about when it comes to the law. So they read a statute and say, oh, it's this, but it's not that. Because the case law is what defines what you read in the statute. So if you're reading a statute, you're way off base to what that means. So according to the case law, Ellerson versus Moriarty, and that's 3-3 Southern 3rd District, and this gives you the pleading numbers. And this was in Florida, 2nd District, DCA 2021. So this was reestablished. This has been a well-established law and principle of motion to dismiss for a really long time. But again, it is it's added again. They like newer case law to prove their point. This is a newer case law. It's from 2021. Just like this motion to dismiss may come up into somebody else's as case law presented in another case later down the road. And that is because the motion to dismiss test whether the allegation is the amended complaint states one or more legal causes of actions against the defendants. Another rule the court must follow in deciding this motion is the court may only consider facts alleged in the amended complaint and nothing else. And as the motion is not a substitute for summary judgment. So they can still, once they get evidence and stuff, they can still go for summary judgment as opposed to a trial. And we'll discuss what summary judgment means at a later date so we don't, throw too much legalese down your throat. This is a good day for the Petito Schmidt family. And I want you guys to hear something because I sent this out the day that I heard, if I can find it. The day that I was out there, somebody was asking me, I was leaving there. Where is it? Here it is. So here's my statement that I made, excuse me, that I made that day.
This audio.
Oh,
Honestly,
let me pause this. So
I'm not sure how the judge will rule because they both brought up good arguments. However, they went outside the four corners of the complaint, which there's a lot of case law very clear that they have to stay within the four corners of the complaint. One of the major issues that was brought up was the Fifth Amendment. And so with the Fifth Amendment can only be invoked if there's a criminal charge or something criminal. And they're alleging that there was no charges for Brian Laundrie. There was no charges for the Laundrie parents. And therefore, the Fifth Amendment did not apply. That means they did not have the right to remain silent. And that's their argument right now with that. And then also whether the actions they took were atrocious and whether it rose to the level of being, causing additional infliction of emotional distress. So there was one prong of the four-prong test that the defense was arguing that the plaintiffs did not have to bring this case forward. So there are two good arguments with this complaint and with this motion to dismiss that may not survive, that could survive. So it's really iffy. I really think that the Petito attorney really hit a home run in this, and I believe that this will proceed to trial, in my opinion.
that was the day it happened. I know there was a lot of people across YouTube telling, people, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know this, don't know that. That there's no way that this is going to proceed to trial, that they have a right to remain silent. These are people that don't understand our law. They don't understand civil law. They don't understand criminal law. These are not people you should be getting your information from. Somebody that does entertainment of, like, I mean, I know many people like Popcorn Planet, but he was one that was saying that this would not proceed to trial. This is not his wheelhouse. His wheelhouse is outrageous, elitist entertainment people that do terrible things. That's what he's got that's his base. And sorry, but that was incorrect. I like Popcorn Planet myself. I don't want people saying, oh, Bullhorn Betty, it's hating on Popcorn Planet. I'm not hating on Popcorn Planet. I actually like the dude. He's entertaining to me. He's entertaining to me. But again, I went there, I listened to it, I took notes, I was paying attention, and I was applying my education to this case. And as it was being argued, and I said from the very beginning that these were going to be the issues that were going to be raised. Those were the issues that were raised. This is what is happening. I even had somebody in my chat before we even made it to the courtroom arguing with me about how this case is going to be thrown out. And I remember telling her, you don't know what is going on. You are not a person that understands the law. And, let's not argue this until the judge has his say. And this was before I even heard the arguments, before I even made a determination that, they argued this case very, very well. That attorney, hit a home run, in my opinion. The Petito Schmidt family really did an amazing job. And it proves, the proof is in the pudding. Does this mean they're going to win their case? Absolutely not. This just means that they actually get to have their case heard and adjudicated. That's what it means. What is this? Can you please post his PayPal? Nina Palms. I don't know who that is, and I'm not posting. I don't post people's stuff out. Who is Nina Peridge? YouTube creators are already exploiting this for money. Stop the fraud. Only give these funds. So if you could, Loompa, if you could clarify what you're saying, is this related to Doug Live? Is this family or friends of Doug Live? If so, let me know. I'm happy to post anything for Doug Live in support of him or his family in any way I can, but I need to vet the information before it goes out on my channel, unfortunately, because I don't want to participate in releasing information fraudulently. So if you know if there's any, I'm happy to get the information out. I just need to know that it's the proper information to get out. If you could send me an email. This is not going to be the last time we run Doug Live's information. I plan on starting with him because we are going to continue to pray for him every day that we have a live on the Bullhorn Betty channel until he comes home well. We are definitely doing that. TLC has a short video on Petito lawyers. I just missed that it went up on me. On the Petito's lawyers giving information on Roberta's letter to Brian, a must see. Yeah. And then this is the funny thing. Then I hear Bertolino, which I don't believe not a stitch that comes out of that man's mouth. He is a slimeball attorney from New York. He is pegged as a slimeball attorney from New York. And he's trying to indicate that Roberta sent him that letter before he left on the vacation. Like this had been sent to him months ago. What mother sends a letter to her son out on his trip and says, oh, by the way, burn this after reading? That does not make sense to any normal person or normal person's train of thought. I'm sorry. That does not make sense to me at all. At all. Sorry. Try again. Nina is Doug's daughter. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So let me just go up here. If anybody wants to help the family, like first and foremost, the daughters had to fly here. There's money out of their pocket that they didn't expect to have to pay. They're 20-something years old. So you got to imagine that they're probably not making, 6-figure incomes or 5-figure incomes for that. Well, I guess lower 5-figure incomes possibly. So this is costing them a lot of money. They're dealing with their father. I'm sure that they probably are staying in dad's home, but they may not. They may have to be staying at a hotel near I don't know. All I know is this is going to cost the family a lot of money, not even including the medical expense bills that are going to be coming in for Doug. So anybody that would like to support the family monetarily or otherwise, there is the PayPal and Venmo. Anissa, can you please copy this? The PayPal and the Venmo of Nina, so we can start posting it through our lives during our sessions until he makes it back home. We want to make sure that we do everything we can to help support that family that's going through this horrific time. It is of my belief these people aren't making a cash grab. I just want to make sure everybody knows that I don't believe that they are here to try to have a cash grab on the back of their father that's in grave condition. This is something that we as creators and YouTubers are putting out there to help the family, and to make sure that nobody else is fraudulently putting their information up to get money off this fraudulently. We want to make sure that you guys have all the information so you don't go to fraudulent organization and fund somebody else when you're intending your funds to go to this family. So again, PayPal, Nina Palms, and Venmo, Nita-Heritage, I don't know. So we already have some YouTube creators already exploiting this for money. I am not doing a fundraiser drive, anything in connection with Doug's case. I just want to tell you, I am here for emotional support and to get information out to the audience. I'm not here to do poster boards or anything like that. I have no reason to be collecting money on the back of Doug. So we are not doing any type of fundraiser for him. If we choose to change that, if things turn worse and we need to start helping with other costs and stuff, I will figure out how to best do that. But right now, we want to make sure if you guys are wanting to support this family financially, $2, $3, $5, you take 5 people with 100 people with $5. That's $500 to help that family. It doesn't have to break the bank to help this family that is in need. And again, I just want to express, this is one of our own that is in grave danger of losing his life today. And we want to make sure that we pray for this family and we uplift them and we help them any way we can. I am happy to help out any way I can. So thank you all for clarifying that information for me. If there ever is a GoFundMe page that is created on his behalf by his family, make sure I get that. And if you guys see people fraudulently creating stuff to collect money on the back of Doug, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, flag it, and call law enforcement. Flag it and call law enforcement. We do not want anybody scamming good-hearted people that are trying to do the right thing. So I wanted to make sure that that was out there. I can't believe, man, that Doug was attacked. Yeah, especially the guy that attacked him. Him and his wife have a channel. The man that attacked him is the man that stopped and talked to the Laundrie's dad. Well, there's sick people out there, and I tell you what, if Jason Stern, whatever his name is, I will be at those court hearings. I will be there, if nothing else. I will be there with my ugly mug on, with a scorning stare at them. Let's see here. Just hearing about Doug makes you cry. Yes, it's awful. It's awful. And people say I keep talking about the mental issue. People are not, you guys are just seeing Jason Sternquist, thank you, is responsible for this and has his own YouTube channel. I keep telling you this, that people are mentally unstable on here. There are creators that are mentally unstable on this platform. And you guys have to be careful with who you're handing information over to. This is real life. This is real life, and people can be seriously injured and killed for just having an entertainment channel that covers true crime. How sick is that? If you don't like what somebody is saying on their channel, change the damn channel. It is just that simple. You don't have to come in here and put horrible things in their chat. You don't have to stalk them online. You don't have to get the people that are following you to constantly nonstop attack people. This is dangerous stuff. Dangerous. I can't express that enough across the streets of YouTube today. Dangerous. Stop doxing people. Stop it. This is real life. A man's life is hanging in the balance today because of this nonsense on YouTube. I've had it. All senseless. This was senseless. A man is almost losing his life. His children, 20-something years old that already lost their mother, is now in grave danger of losing their father. Both of their parents wiped off this earth. For what? For what? Well, let's see. I bet you some asshole out there is going to say, Bullhorn Betty's having a meltdown. Yeah. I heard she passed away. Is that not true? I heard she passed away. I could be wrong about that detail. But even if it doesn't matter. These children, 20-something years old, in fear of losing their father over what? Over what? This is some sick stuff. But hey, it's just YouTube. It's not real. It's just YouTube. It's not real. I don't know about that, folks. Because I'm sure his children, to them, this feels really flipping real. This feels real, and it's probably killing them. And I tell you, you guys got to make your decision. I mean, there's got to be a line in the sand for all of us. What you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. If you guys are going to these bully channels and watching a commercial, you are supporting that channel. Just for watching them, you are making them money. Sometimes it's just best not to even look behind the curtain. Just report the channel and leave. But we as a community have to decide where our integrity and moral compass is. If you want to support the bullying channels, just know, don't sit there and complain when that bullying turns around and bites you in your butt. You either don't want bullying or you want bullying. Which is it? Because if you don't want bullying, it's time for you to unclick subscribe on all those bully channels that you follow. If nothing more, do it for Doug. This has got to stop. All over YouTube. All over YouTube. And personal conflicts becoming real. It is not worth anybody's life. What that man did, Jason Sternquist did, he is going to regret the rest of his life. Even if Doug makes it, I guarantee he will regret this the rest of his life. I have been telling people for months on here, this bullying has to stop. There are real people being really injured here. But you know what? It didn't rise to this level yet. Well, now it's here. So when's enough enough? When's enough enough, audience? Because you guys are the ones that, if you guys weren't supporting this conduct, it would not be happening. If channels that supported this type of conduct didn't get any viewership, they would stop doing this. You see where I'm going? Yeah, it's entertainment. But to what extent? Is it worth you having this laugh at them picking on this person and then realizing what the ending result of that is? At what point are we going to say enough's enough? At what point are we going to say we are done with the bullying? This has gone too far. When are we going to say I am no longer watching or supporting that bully channel? It is up to each and every one of you whether you guys are going to continue to support this kind of conduct on YouTube. How many more people need to lose their lives or be in jeopardy of losing their lives over clicks and views? Just curious. Because these personality conflicts are rising to a very disgusting, thank you, Granny Boots, very disgusting level here on YouTube, where you think you have the right to approach another YouTuber in front of their house or in front of their work. Who the hell do you think you are? I just want to know, when is enough enough here on YouTube? Only each and every one of you can decide. I can personally tell you, I put my line in the sand and I have not crossed that line. Right? People have sent me stuff that people are talking about me on this channel and that channel. I won't even play it. Why? It's not because I don't want to know what they're saying about me. It's because I refuse to even support them with a half a cent for watching that advertisement to be able to watch what they're saying about me. I refuse to do it. And I hope many more will. His name, Molly, his name is Jason Sternquist. And he's been charged. Let me pull this up so you can see it. Give me just a second. I had it all up this morning and I moved it. Actually, I don't think he's there. I think it's the Sarasota. Hold on. Sarasota arrest inquiries. Thank you, Tanina. Tanina. Hopefully I said that right. Yeah, but Molly, he's struggling for his life right now. He is struggling for his life. Doug Live may not be making it back. It's that serious. So there he is, right there. Apparently another YouTuber. Another YouTuber, because I guess Doug does his lives from his car instead of inside his home. This gentleman knew it, waited until he went live or was about to go live and got in his car and went up there and tried to yank his phone out of his hand, took his phone. They got into an altercation. All these people know he has heart problems. And he ran off after Doug, lost consciousness and stopped breathing. Instead of aiding Doug Live and trying to make sure he saved that man's life, like a coward, he ran off, got into his vehicle, and fled the scene. Now, again, this man has been arrested for the crime that the law enforcement believe he perpetrated. He's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That means people had to have a suspicion that he committed a crime to be arrested, to have his day in court, to be innocent until proven guilty. I just want to make sure people understand where that innocent until proven guilty falls in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't fall in the investigative stage. It falls once you're arrested and you're going to court. So he was arrested for sudden snatching without a firearm or a weapon. and aggravated stalking, follow, harass, cyber stalk, and threaten to a person, and a credible threat to a person. That's only 2 charges in this one arrest. There's also another one. So he was originally arrested. So let's just follow this. He was originally arrested for occupied conveyance, unarmed, a burglary of an occupied conveyance, i.e. the car, because he reached into the car to grab the cell phone, and the battery, the touch or strike, because he hit Doug live, and Doug went out unconscious, no longer breathing. Don't know how long he was out. He didn't have air for. People were performing CPR, from my understanding. They were performing CPR on him. And then 2 days later, they added additional charges, and those additional charges were the robbery and the aggravated stalking. So this man, which are felonies. So this man is, without a doubt, fighting for his life today. This is not good. You knew him from, I'm sure, I'm speaking to you, Molly, you knew him from when he was out, covering Gabby Petito. I don't remember him. He could have been standing right next to me, and I don't recall seeing him. I've never been introduced to him personally, so I didn't know who he was. But apparently, he was in the court hearing with me. You know what? It's me. Yeah, it's her. It's her. I'm going to drop you a link in here if you want to come up. I'm curious how you feel about this. You're a YouTuber. You've been stalked. You went through the ringers. Justice for All, if you want to grab the link as well, if you're in here, do it. I'd like to know how this makes you guys feel. I mean, this stuff is serious stuff. People want to say this is a freaking joke. It's no joke. This is no joke. This is real life. Anybody that tells you, oh, it's just YouTube, it's not real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is as real as a heart attack. Because, guys, let me tell you, Doug Live from Northport is fighting for his life right now. I don't know how real that can get. I really don't. Justice.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. So how does this, I mean, this to me, it's scary. You heard Mama Bullhorn this morning on here. She worries about her daughter.
Doug is like the sweetest guy.
That's what I've always heard.
Doug wouldn't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? And when I just came on your channel just a few minutes ago, I'm absolutely shocked and reeling from this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was getting a phone call.
That's okay. That's okay. So as a creator, we all deal with, what people online perceive as innocent bullying, so to speak. And I've been speaking out and saying, what I've gone through is not innocent. What I've experienced, and I know what Molly has experienced, is not innocent. This stuff can get very scary. And I've been talking about, that what could really happen when people talk and things like that. Hello, Molly.
Oh my God.
And so this is real. And this idea that this stuff is not real life, guess what? There's a man sitting in the ICU that might be that is fighting for his life right now. If this is not real, I don't know what brings this home, as this is pretty freaking real.
And this guy that allegedly attacked him, he's another YouTuber?
That's what I've been hearing. Him and his wife or girlfriend have YouTube channels.
Dude,
Okay.
Doug is the sweetest guy.
It's hard to hear you, Marissa.
Justin is saying he's having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, shit.
I can hear you, but I got volume on my...
Hi. Can you hear me now?
I can.
That's better.
Yeah.
Doug is one of the nicest people. He really is. He's not a hate channel. He's not there to hurt anybody. He never speaks ill of anything. He's just the eyes and ears around Northport.
Yeah.
God bless him. This is terrible.
Fighting for his life. He might not make it.
Something like this was going to happen eventually, but to Doug from Northport, that's
He
scary.
would have been the last person I would think that would happen to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So he was sitting in his car.
Yeah.
He was about to go live. It happened. I think the call came in at 9:56 and his live was scheduled for 10 p.m.
And so someone allegedly reached in his car and
don't forget the aggravated stalking. Like he knew that he was going to be out there in that car at that time and chose to approach him.
Premeditated.
Yep.
So he reached in his car and he hit him?
No, he snatched his phone out of his hand, which I didn't get the report on the actual things that transpired. This is what I believe happened. I want to make sure that's clear. What we do know for fact is that this is what we know for fact. A phone was snatched out of his hand. An altercation ensued in the streets. It left one person unconscious and not breathing, which was Doug alive, and the other person took off in their personal vehicle. The other person was identified and detained and then eventually arrested. But what I believe happened is he reached in that car, probably the window was open or he snatched the door open, reached in there, grabbed the phone. Doug at some point must have stepped out of that car to retrieve the phone from this gentleman. And that's when the assault happened, leaving him in the floor or on the ground, unconscious and not breathing, and needing to have life-saving measures happen to try to save him.
Do we know if there is do we know if there was any sort of weapon used?
It doesn't appear that there's a weapon because all these other things were without firearm or weapon. So to have to say, based upon the charges, the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, guys, listen. Violence it's just never the answer. I mean, we don't have to like creators or anything. That's, you have every right to not like someone. But they are just another personality online. If you don't like the person, just hit the X button and don't worry about them.
Yeah. But this is real. And this is sad. It's real. It could happen to any one of us. This is, I have to think that there was some bolstering of critics online that helped promote some of the stuff that went on. And, I don't know that for a fact, but something happened. Mm-hmm. Something came to a head this day, and it left one person fighting for his life right now and may not make it. His young 20-year-old children, daughters, having to fly in because their father is on life support for what? A senseless act of rage because one YouTuber could not control himself.
Yes.
And you guys remember, just in this area alone, I mean, this almost happened to JLR.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. One of the neighbors there came out. Why? Because he went and knocked on his door and put a flyer there. He deserves to be attacked viciously by a crazed lunatic. And people are like, well, they went on his property. There was nothing illegal about going on that property and knocking on the door like we did every other neighbor.
No, there's absolutely, of course.
But yeah.
I don't want to ever see anyone attack people I don't care for and people that I care for. It's never the right answer. And to, go and premeditate, stalk someone like that takes a lot of mental energy, physical energy too, to go and watch someone your time and everything else. You know, we don't know what we're dealing with necessarily with another person's mentally, you know, that may not like us just for being a creator.
Right. And Marissa, you've gone through your, your hate campaigns. I mean, you've been on here for several years, and you've dealt with this. You've dealt with being personally attacked, cyberbullied. I'm sure cyber stalked, because you were in a house with me when somebody was taking pictures outside of a flipping window. If that's not being stalked, I don't know what is. How does this make you feel? I mean, Mama Bullhorn was on the phone earlier today, and she even told the audience she fears for my safety.
Yeah.
I think all of our parents kind of do in a sense. We never think that it's going to come to this level until it does.
I cannot imagine anyone actually trying to physically harm me.
Hey, but we can't discredit the whole BK thing either.
That's true. No, who was expecting that? I mean,
that could have turned into something really bad. Thank God, all parties, de-escalated that situation and stuff like that. But that could, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it could have went from bad to worse.
Yeah.
We have to learn to control our emotions as adults, as creators, as public figures, as human beings.
Yep, I agree. But this was brought to me. It's sad. I looked on it. I actually asked a lot of the questions, like, how do we know it's Doug? All this other stuff, and people pointed me to the right directions. It's definitely Doug Live. His family is grieving at this moment. This is not a good situation. Again, he might not make it.
Well, I mean, to be on life support, I mean, this could very well turn into, God forbid, homicide.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm gonna see about pulling one more person in here if they've got just a moment. Guidance, I'm gonna drop you a link here, and if you know something about how this all started, please.
My sister lives around the block from the Laundries.
Yeah.
When you go down that street, you make a right. Remember where JLL was parked?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more down. I'm gonna ask. So, was he attacked outside the Laundries?
No, he was. Excuse me, attacked outside of his home. Let me pull this up here. Give me just a second. 1, 2, 3. Oh shit. Is it in this one? Well, I guess I had them both on that one. So it was. Can't remember his address. Was it Cathedral? No, that's not it.
Yeah, wasn't he in the Brian Laundrie courtroom?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you were sitting with him, like, and I think weren't you, like, in the same area?
On the other side.
Oh, this is not the right address. Hold on one second. Let me pull this back, and I'll let me find out what the right address is. But yeah, it was outside of his home in Northport that this actually transpired at. And I've got the address. Just give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to find it.
2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Shake.
I've never heard that one, Betty.
Seriously? I grew up on that.
No. That must be a Floridian one.
Let me pull this back up and there we go. So here it is. So it was out in front of his house in Northport, but he was going live for the first time. And so there it is. Let me see if I can stop it and kind of zoom in just a little bit. So right here.
And where was he attacked?
He was attacked, yeah, at his house. So let me turn this around. He was in his car. Oops.
Wow.
He was in his car. So he was either in his. Oh, stop that. Come on. There. Why won't it stop it? There we go. So he was either in his car, in his driveway, or out here in the roadway in his car. I don't know which, but that's his house. He was in front of at the time that he had. Oh, that's 119. Hold on, let me go back. 213. Maybe it's one more. Let's see. Which house is it? It's not that house. I think it's this house there. Yeah, there it is. So this is the house. So I had the right house. So he was either in his driveway in his car or out on the roadway. Either way, somebody approached him, opened his car door, or reached through the open window. I'd have to think that they opened the car door, because if I remember correctly, when I've seen him, I'm pretty sure his windows are rolled up and he's probably got air conditioning blowing on him. I don't see, it was hot on June 25th. So either way, he was attacked right here at his home. I just want that to resonate with people, that he was home. He wasn't out at the Laundries. He was actually home. Hey, Guidance, I know you're probably going to be limited on time. What information do you have?
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Am I still there? Okay.
Yep.
Referring to Gabby Petito, it was around the Red Shed Discovery Day. He was in line getting food, and the Stern Squad just him in line. It was kind of like, oh, hey, there's Doug. Well, everybody who watched Doug knows he doesn't be noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always been very shy. Just recently, well, basically, Doug, and he made a comment of, oh, no, they're stalking me. Well, they took that seriously into.
You're breaking up like every other word.
Yeah, it's hard to understand her.
Guidance? You just muted yourself.
I was changing my headset. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Much
Perfect.
better, yes.
Okay. So I'll be short, sweet, and simple. Basically, during the Gabby Petito, during the Red Shed, the Love Shack, when he found it, he was in line at a fast food one night just getting food, and they noticed it was Doug. He found out it was Doug, and then he's like, you tricked me on the car. They were talking banter before. And so Doug made a joke, as he normally puts off-the-cuff jokes, and was like, oh, they're following me now. Well, they took it a little too seriously and became pretty aggressively competitive with him and kind of harassed him a lot online. And that's how it started.
Wow.
And he would do lives just complaining and moaning and groaning about Doug. And Doug, he rolls everything off his sleeve as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy didn't. He would just go on live and go ranting off like he was so offended, when really he didn't get his humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and that's sad. Still senseless.
Yeah.
And this is another YouTuber, and we see this all the time. People escalating and going too far on the streets of YouTube. For people out there in YouTube world that thinks this is a soap opera, it is not. Guess what?
Yeah.
Marissa is a real person. Justin is a real person. Guidance is a real person. I am a real person. We are not some skit. We are not some fictitious character on a soap opera. These are our lives, literally our lives, that are being put in jeopardy because we have unstable people on YouTube doing this kind of stalking, cyber bullying, cyber harassment. And now one person is lying there fighting for his life. Over what? Over what? What could ever this man ever do to justify him being fighting for his life right now?
A silly joke that, someone takes, the wrong way for nothing.
And if you go back to his lives, unless they're deleted, you can see all of it. And it was basically just because Doug wanted to stay hidden. And if you remember, Lulu, who's on Twitter, was the only one that really caught him and chased him down the street, and he took off. Because he's very actually shy in person.
Yeah, but you know what? But people, it's not like he hasn't shown his face in the past. He just likes his anonymity, and he has his name all over his page. I mean, it's not like he was super anonymous. He just wanted to pick and choose when people did see him or did get to know him. And he probably wanted the anonymity because people were harassing him and picking on him, probably for his looks.
Well, this being caught was prior to anybody seeing his face when the Stern Squad caught him.
Mm.
But anyways, I got to go. You
All
know
right,
this hits home because I grew up there, so I'm going to be on top of this and make sure that Doug is taken care of. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you, honey. What's the Stern Squad?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Probably another YouTube group in Northport. But this is, I'm sorry. It's, I'm speechless as to why this is happening, why this has happened. I am speechless with, what can we do? This is my, you know me, Marissa, this is my MO, I think we need a major letter writing campaign to YouTube, not just to YouTube, to their legal department, and say that give the people the information, let them write their own letters. We'll have a template like we did for, Don Wells and that thing. But I think we need a major letter writing campaign to YouTube. I think we need a major letter writing campaign to the FBI to tell them that we as a community have had enough. Because really, at the end of the day, this is cross interstate lines. I mean, this particular situation was Northport resident with Northport resident, but a lot of the bullying we see that actually incites their base for people in the communities where these people reside to attack them. They're inciting their base from different states. And this is the outcome of inciting that base. This is the outcome of people on YouTube inciting the creators to do something, in my opinion.
Oh, so that's his channel. Wow.
Somebody post his channel in here. I didn't see it. I just said that's his channel. But that's it. So I just found this out. I thought this was a something that needed to be broadcasted. I know Marissa's face can barely see it, but I can tell you're not really happy or pleased to hear this. This man did nothing to anybody, and this has to stop before any other YouTuber or YouTube creator is injured. It just has to stop, and the audience can help with that. Don't support bully channels. Don't support channels that incite their base to harass other creators.
Misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
Those people are they are like the bottom of the barrel. They are just like, they all have that one thing in common. They're absolutely miserable. They're absolutely hateful. There's if you cured cancer, they'd still hate you,
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. They just detest you for no reason.
I'm still in shock that we're here having this discussion, because all three of us have had this discussion related to cyberbullying, cyber stalking, the stuff that goes on YouTube's, the online harassment. We've all had these discussions on our panels. We've all discussed this. We've all told our audience, what the worst case scenario could be, but it never happened until it happens.
Yes.
We all seen this freight train coming.
Absolutely. It was
we all saw it coming. that it was just a matter of time, who, when, and where. It was just a matter of time. Well, now we're here, folks. We are here. Everything that we've been saying for months on YouTube about this online harassment, online bullying has come to fruition. We saw this freight train coming at full speed before it got here. We just didn't know who. Who was that freight train aimed at? Well, now we know at least one person. So, you know, however they want to acknowledge that, whatever. I mean, it's just, to me, I've had enough. I've had enough. Like, I am so ready to seriously take off the gloves and attack this head on. I don't want to hear this. We just saw Ernie go crazy on YouTube from the stress, from the bullying and everything else. Whether you like him or hate him, it doesn't matter. And now we hear Doug live. These are two major creators that have had life-altering effects because of people on YouTube.
Sure.
So, however you want to look at it, this is not good. It's not good. So, all right, guys. Well, do you guys have any Justice? Do you have any final words?
Just be kind to one another. It's never worth it.
Right.
Marissa? No matter how much.
I'm praying really, really hard right now. I'm praying really, really hard right now.
Yeah, I think we need to. Sorry, I cut you off, Justin. What were you going to say?
Fine. No, you're fine.
Supporters, I absolutely cannot believe, out of all people, him.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting. It's only going to get worse. It really is. It's just going to keep on getting worse. And you want to know something? I had a Patreon say that this place is so ugly, they just want to be done with YouTube and walk away. And it's something we all know. So, enough. You know.
Enough.
Prayers, everyone. Everyone say your prayers. Thank you for letting me up, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marissa. You take care. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you, Betty.
All right. You guys have a great day, and just lots of prayers, folks. Just lots of prayers.
Amen. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. So there we have it, folks. You know, Doug Live was attacked. He's in ICU from another YouTuber. It's not a good day here. It's just not. This stuff is real. I want to convey that. Please, if you guys have a channel or you're just a person that comes here, share this video. Share clips of this video talking about Doug, because enough is enough. We are done with hearing about this stuff happening. We need to denounce the bully channels. We need to pull our subscriptions from the bully channels. We need to tell them as a community, we have had enough. They are going too far. We've been expressing this for months. And now a man is holding on by a thin hair right now because of this nonsense. He is holding on by a thin hair. He may not make it. All because he's a YouTube creator, a content creator on YouTube. Enough's enough. We're done. We're done. So please keep him and his family in your prayers. Thank you all for being with me for 4 hours this Thursday. I love each and every one of you. I am a real person. When they dox my home, they put me in jeopardy, my life in jeopardy. And there's no place for this on YouTube. And we want to make sure our voices are loud and very clear that YouTube needs to start enforcing the rules they have on the books, and they have not been doing it. So, guys, God bless. For those the replay team, I'm going to limit some of the ads in here for this particular video, so you guys can, watch and digest this information. Not a good day here on the streets of YouTube. With that, guys, I love each and every one of you. God bless. Tomorrow is not promised, so live the day for today. Live your day, not somebody else's, and go make it an amazing day, because, again, tomorrow is not promised. And, folks, don't forget to be fearless. We have to be fearless. We have to look the devil in its eyes, and we have to take it out. So with that being said, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.